be rooting for the Hayes Larks. All of my friends are gonna be there too. Nothing in the world I'd rather do than grab a hot dog burger and a cold beer. You'll hear me yelling out a big cheer, 'cause whether they win or whether they lose, I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. I can't wait to see a home run. I know for sure there's gonna be one. I'll call out the players by their first name. Sure am glad I made it to the game. Rain or shine, I'm gonna be there. If the stands are full, I'll bring a lawn chair. So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks!
Tonight's Rocky Mountain Baseball League contest is the final game of the regular season and the wrap-up game of a two-game series that features the Gameday Saints from Parker, Colorado, and your Hayes Larks. The Larks enter tonight's game at 28-6 on the season, and at 15-4 are the 2021 Rocky Mountain Baseball League champions. The Saints enter tonight's contest at 14-12 overall, 10-9 in the Rocky Mountain Baseball League. The Sunflower Health Plan, the Pepsi Bottling Company of Hayes, and Roof Masters Roofing and Sheet Metal. We greatly appreciate these generous people and their support of Hayes Larks Baseball. And now let's meet tonight's starters for your Hayes Larks.
Yeah,
baby. Leading off and playing center field from the University of Texas at Arlington, number 12, Zach Henry. Batting second, playing third base from the University of Tennessee, number 22, Cortland Lawson. Batting third, the designated hitter from the University of Texas at Arlington, number 16, Wyatt Giffords. Batting fourth, playing right field from Fort Hays State University, number 21, Grant Schmidt. Batting fifth for the Larks from Fort Hays State University, the second baseman, number 17, Ken Pearson. Batting sixth and catching from Murray State College, number 7, Brady Evans. Batting seventh, playing first base from the University of Oklahoma, number 28, Cade Brown. Batting eighth, playing left field from Hayes, number 33, Dylan Dreiling. Batting ninth, playing shortstop from the University of Texas at Arlington, number 3, Matt Kavanaugh. And tonight, making the pitching start for the Larks from the University of Tennessee, number 31, Jake Fitzgibbons. And in his 40th season with the Larks, please welcome the head coach, Mr. Frank Leo. Larks pitching coach is Keith Hyper. Assistant coach is Max McGuire. Ladies and gentlemen, here for tonight's ceremony of first pitches, please welcome Alex Hildebrand and Dalton Schmidberger, representing Sunflower Health Plan. Adelie Harder, representing the...
Meet me down at the ballpark, where I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. All of my friends are gonna be there too. Nothing in the world I'd rather do than grab a hot dog burger and a cold beer. You'll hear me yelling out a big cheer, 'cause whether they win or whether they lose, I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. I can't wait to see a home run. I know for sure there's gonna be one. I'll call out the players by their first name. Sure am glad I made it to the game. Rain or shine, I'm gonna be there. If the stands are full, I'll bring a lawn chair. So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Larks' last regular season game of 2021. This is game 2 of 2 against the Gameday Saints here on Larks Network's first pitch here from Jake Fitzgibbons. Clocks in at 7:08 p.m. here in Hays, Kansas. It's a foul ball from Allball, and we'll get things going. Larks dropped the game last night against the Saints, but are looking for revenge tonight. Final score yesterday, 5-4. Larks rally came up just a little bit short, but they're 2-1 against the Saints this season. Southpaw from Tennessee will miss on this delivery. We'll go 1-2 in the count. On ball, the shortstop, getting his first look at Jake Fitzgibbons. Fitzgibbons, Tennessee native, plays for the Tennessee Volunteers. The Southpaw is making his 6th start of the season. That's the second most on the Larks roster. He's undefeated, 3-0 through 7 appearances, 2 of those in relief. Larks coming in this game 28-6 on the year. They've won 16 out of the 18 games in the month of July. They're your Rocky Mountain Baseball League champions and are 15-4 in the league, ready to take on the NBC tournament in about a week. Saints, this game, they're 14-12, 10-9 in the league. They just bumped up over 500 with the win yesterday. Lost 5 of their last 7, but have won 2 of their last 3. They're 5 games back in 3rd place in a league that's been decided. 1-2 from Fitz high and outside. We'll go 2-2 with the count to Allball, the shortstop. Fitz is currently the Larks strikeout leader. He's punched out a lot of guys this season. 51 to be exact through 26 innings. He's averaging almost 2 strikeouts per inning. Alba working a good at-bat here to get things going. He's working the pitch count of Fitz up early. He'll miss high and outside again. We'll go 3-2. Fitz has the highest strikeout per batter's face on the team. That comes with having the most strikeouts. But he also throws the most pitches to per batter faced, and that's also because of strikeouts. You need at least 3 pitches for a strikeout. This one's going to be a long at-bat. It goes well over 3 pitches, and on-ball gets aboard on a walk. Walks are going to be the big thing for the Larks today. Jake has walked 20 this season through 26, and if he can keep the ball getting past the batters, it's going to be a big victory for the Larks because Jake is very tough to hit off of. If he doesn't walk you, it's hard to get aboard, so umpires chat here. So the key for Jake, just keep striking guys out and not walking. Guys really don't hit off of him, but when they do put the ball in play, they have the opponent batting average goes to 400. So we'll get some things figured out here as Matthew Weaver and Hunter Fitzpatrick, tonight's umpires, get some things discussed here. Not sure what's being talked about after the walk. And so Mike Kuhn's going to have a chat with the 2 umpires as well as Fitz will stay on the mound. Oh, we got some time. Let's check out how the Larks defense lines up in this game. We got Dylan Drouling, the Tennessee commit, in left field. And then Henry at center, Grant Schmidt at right. And then another Tennessee volunteer in the infield. It's Lawson at the hot corner, Cavanaugh at shorts. We put Pearson at second for this game. He moves in from left field. And then Brown is at first base today for Hayes. Brady Evans getting the catching start here for the Hayes Larks. And so things getting settled here. And we'll go to the 2-hole. Drew Sackett, the third baseman. And so that ends up taking on-ball off the base paths. So they did appeal, and on-ball actually goes down on strikes for out number 1. So take that walk off of Fitz's stats and clear the base paths. Strikeout number 52 this season for Fitz. That's the most on the team, and he will finish the regular season with the most strikeouts in the Larks uniform in 2021. And when you consider that he hasn't been here all that long, his first game on the mound for the Larks wasn't until about halfway through the season. Oh yeah, it was a little jumpy there. It was a quarter of the way through the season against the Cannons. But it's been remarkable, the guys he's just been able to get out. And there's 2-2 count now to Sackett. And that's strikeout number 2 on the day for Jake Fitzgibbons. It's this one by Sackett. So, as I said, if Jake just keeps striking guys out, that's going to be the big thing for him today. Guys don't hit well off of him. Only 16 hits have gone against Jake Fitzgibbons this season. You just got to keep that ball to the play. When the ball is put in play, the opponent's batting average is 400 against Fitz. Blows another one by here. This is Luke Bailey, and we'll go 0-1 with the counts. Fitz this year, ERA hanging around 3.23 and a whip of 1.35. Opponent's batting average in general is at 180 when it goes up 320 points when the ball's put in play. He's thrown 26 and 2/3 innings now with 53 strikeouts and 19 walks, just 12 earned runs for the Volunteer. He has an 0-2 count here against Bailey, the right fielder, and will deliver the third pitch of the AB. It's a fastball. He takes it right by him. Fitzgibbons strikes out the side in the first, and he's looking to go and take this game for a while and keep the Larks in front. And the Larks will look to get in front in the bottom half. 0-0. Don't take what the scoreboard says, right? It's 0-0. We'll get that corrected between innings here on Larks Network. Bottom of the first, top of the order here for the Larks. And a scoreless game. Leading off for Hayes will be the center fielder, Zach Henry, who's been hotter than anybody in the Midwest at the plate as of late. He's running a 12-game hitting streak, and his on-base percentage in the month of July is almost at 600. He started off his season a little slower than he would have liked with quite a few strikeouts. He's taken strikeouts almost completely out of his game and has been on fire lately. Yesterday, he had a home run to put the Larks' first 2 runs on the board yesterday. He's scored 5 times against the Saints this season and driven in 3 runs against them. 0-2 count here versus Henry, as on the mound, Cole Dunn will go from the windup. It's a fastball, misses the outside corner, 1-2. Dunn is 2-0 this season through 7 appearances. All 7 appearances are starts. He's thrown 30 innings, striking out 28 guys and walking half of that at 14. ERA at 3 flats with 10 earned runs through 30 innings and has a whip of 1.33. And Henry will line this one down the left field line. Larks have been loving the corners and the lines in the past week, and Henry no different. In his past 2 days against this team, he has a double and a home run and puts himself at scoring position. Larks' bats got rolling late in yesterday's game. It was just a little too late, though, so they'll look to jump board and send a message against the Gameday Saints here. So that'll take us to Cortland Lawson. Lawson yesterday batted leadoff for the first time in the season. Got aboard 2 times in 5 plate appearances on a hit and a walk, but didn't score. Larks left a lot of guys in scoring position yesterday. They left 7 on in the first 3 innings, and Dunn throws at Lawson's head on the first pitch. Not intentional, but we'll go 1-0 with the counts. Saints sure did celebrate on the Larks field yesterday. You almost wonder, not saying it was premeditated, but you almost wonder after the Larks put up a show in Colorado against them, coming back from down 10, winning 18-16 in 12 innings, and didn't really win quietly. So some of that celebration might have been premeditated. Cole Ferguson yesterday led the charge and talked some smack to the dugout. So Larks ready to go to this one and get some revenge after that one. It's just their second loss of the month, but they are still headed to the NBC. That game does not affect the standings. Larks have already clinched NBC play. Zach Henry steals his 26th base of the season here on the third pitch, and Sackett saves a run, a leaping dive to save the ball from going to the left field. Zach Henry now in the top 10 for a single season in stolen bases. He is now tied with a handful of guys, and actually puts him now tied for 8th. He was outside of the top 10, but that stolen base makes him tied with guys like Jace Tingler, who's currently the manager of the Padres, for 8th place in a single season in terms of stolen bases. Larks have stolen a lot of bases against the Saints this year. Tyler Palmer has stolen 5 over the course of 2 games against them. We have a few guys with multiple stolen bases. Palmer has 5. Pearson, Schmidt, and Lawson each have 2. Lawson's were both in yesterday's game. 2 balls, 2 strikes here to Lawson at the plate. The third baseman, looking for the record book this season, is on pace for a record on base percentage. If they do rule that he's had enough plate appearances, we'll roll with what he has now, but he will go down on strikes here. That is Dunn's 29th strikeout of the season, and there's one away with Zach Henry in scoring position for Wyatt Divis. Divis, the DH out of UTA, he's on pace to break his on-base percentage record that he broke a few years ago. He set the single-season record for on-base percentage for the Larks in 2018 and is looking to break it here in 2021, his 4th season with the Birds. Takes a first pitch strike over the outside part of the plate and will go 0-1 with the count. Divis also on pace for the batting average record, the OPS, and slugging record. It's just been a historic season for Wyatt. 0-1 over the same spot, but this one just a little bit more to the outside. It misses outside. We'll go 1-1 to the DH from Lincoln, Nebraska. Divis yesterday 0 for 3, but he did pick up 2 walks to keep his on-base streak alive. He draws a lot of walks. Those were 21 and 22 on the season for him. His on-base streak currently sitting at 26 games for the Larks. Zach Henry at third base just put his hitting streak at 13 games, and he will end the regular season with the longest active streak for the Larks. 2-1, this one right down the pipe to Divis, 2-2. Talking about how hot Henry's been this month. And we'll bring those numbers up in a second, and it's probably his next at-bat. Either way, it's 2-2 here to Divis. Henry looking to score. Larks left the tying run at third base. They put him at third base yesterday with 1 away, and then left Dreiling at third. And Fitzpatrick will strike out Divis. Divis, who's usually pretty quiet on the base paths, has some wards. He disagreed with that one. And Dunn strikes out his second straight and will go 2 away. So we'll go 2 away here to Grant Schmidt. Schmidt had a game yesterday that he did not look like himself. Struck out 3 times in 5 at-bats, no hits and no walks. He swings above and off speed from Dunn. 0-1 counts. Schmidt, the right fielder this season against the Saints. He has a double and 2 stolen bases, along with 7 hits, 3 runs, and a couple of RBIs. He's 7 for 13 against the Saints this season. Actually, 13 incorrect. But he does have 7 hits, and we'll find out how many at-bats he has against these guys in a little bit. 1-1 count here to Schmidt, the right fielder from Fort Hays State University. The Nebraska native pops this one up over the right side. Goldie and Rue chase it, but it'll go out of play over the Saints dugouts. This is matchup number 4 between the two teams this season. Larks won Game 1, 12-7 in Colorado, then won Game 2, 18-16 in Colorado in 12 innings, and then dropped Game 1 this 2-game series against them last night, losing 5-4. Larks have outscored the Saints in matchups this year, 34-28. But errors have been huge for the Larks against Gameday this season. They have 15 errors over the course of the first 3 games against Gameday. 2 balls, 2 strikes as this one will miss inside. Big gap up the middle for Schmitty with a huge gap in left center. And he gets fooled. Dunn strikes out 3 just like Fitz did in the top of the inning. And the Larks, after having Henry at second base with nobody out, he gets left in scoring position. And frustration continues to build for the Larks as we'll go to the second inning. No score here from Hays, Kansas.
Thanks to the Pepsi Bottling Group.
It is a quick day for Fitzgibbons. He faces 3 batters and strikes them all out, but the Larks staff pull him after just 1 inning. So we'll go to Trey Riggs on the mound now. Riggs did not pitch against the Gameday Saints in the first matchup and is getting his first look at the order today. Leading off is Peter Goldie, the first baseman, against Riggs. Riggs, a Hayes native, plays at Dodge City Community College and blows one by Goldie. Bounces off of Evans and will go 1-1 with the counts. So Fitzgibbons' strikeout now total stands at 54. He leads the team and will remain that way through the end of the regular season. This is the last game on Larks Network and the last game be on the mic for 2021. So appreciate you guys watching all season long and your support of Hayes Larks baseball. We'll finish this one out strong here. Riggs has a 2-1 counts. Be sure to stick around the rest of the game. We got some honors we need to hand out and some recognition given to some very great seasons from the Larks roster. 3-1 here to Goldie. Riggs making appearance number 9 of the season. He's thrown 10 innings. All 10 appearances in relief except for the one against the Cannons on the 16th. Lawson snags one hit hard. That was a web gem from Lawson in the hot corner. He throws across to Cade Brown in time. And Lawson, who has been great all season in the infield, no matter where you put him, second, short, or third, he gets to balls that nobody else can and does that there and gets Goldie out in time at first. So we'll go one away to Jack Root. Root yesterday batted 7th, went 1 for 4, picked up a couple of RBIs in his efforts. Fitz finishes his day 1 inning, 17 pitches, 12 of those in the zone, no hits, no earned runs, no walks, all 3 batters down on strikes. Here's Riggs, missed the zone here, 1-0. Riggs throws strikes on 52% of his pitches. And he gets a chopper over to the right side, 1-1. Riggs 0-2 this year. Has an opponent batting average of .462. But when he starts guys out with a first pitch strike, that number nearly goes down by half. So first pitch strike's huge for Trey, and he throws 2 strikes here to Root. 1-2 with the count to the catcher from Siouxland University of the South. Righty Riggs on the mound, lefty at the plate. The 1-2 home bounces in front of the plates over towards the right-hander's batter's box. 2-2. Riggs' last game was against the Cougars on the 23rd, 5 days ago. He went 2 innings, allowed a couple of hits, had 1 earned run, struck out 1, walked none. His ERA has gone down by 6 in the past week, and has a whip under 4 at 3.70. Payoff pitch from Riggs will miss outside, and Root will walk. First walk of the game from the Larks pitching staff, as Tyler Palmer is in the pen for Hayes warming up. So we're going to Noah Vogel, the left fielder from Northwestern College in Iowa. Vogel batting 6th tonight. After batting 2nd yesterday, he went 0 for 5 and struck out 5 times. It was an effort from Cade Brown, Castellucci, DeCalati, and Divis. All 4 earned runs in the first inning came from Cade Brown, then Castellucci allowed 1, and then DeCalati and Divis kept the Saints off the board the rest of the game through a combined 5 innings, giving up just 2 hits, both of them from DeCalati, striking out 9 guys over the next 5 innings. And Larks struck out 15 yesterday. Riggs misses the zone here. We'll go 2-0 to Vogel. Or 1-0. Scoreboard shows 1-0, so that's what we'll roll with. The Larks have struck out 37 Saints this season. Gameday has struck out 32 Larks. Larks pitching staff has given up 9 less walks than Gameday has and allowed 8 less hits and has 8 less earned runs. Riggs will go from the stretch, off speed, just misses the outside corner. 2-0 goes the count now. On deck is Nick Crandall with Braden Luff in the hole. Swing and a miss on the 2-0. We'll go 2-1 with the counts. It's a little shocking move that Fitzgibbons only got to throw 1 inning. We were told he'd throw 2 to 3. They decide to pull him after just 1 inning on the rubber. Check over at first. It's not in time. Fitz will be big for the Larks at the NBC. That's a guy you can take deep into games, and he can dominate through a lineup. That's what we were expecting to see today, but again, just 1 inning on the mound for the southpaw. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 away here to Vogel. Double play in position here from Kavanaugh and Pearson. Check over at first again. Lawson playing a little bit away from third base here. Larks, interesting shift here, looking for the double play. Larks have a very talented defensive infield. It's just been some silly mistakes against the Gameday Saints, ones they don't normally make, that have cost them 15 errors this season. I don't know what it is with this team, that why we make the errors against Gameday, but they have been benefiting from it, and definitely benefited yesterday in their win. Three-two counts, and this one will miss outside. Riggs walks his second straight. We saw 3 straight walks from a pitcher yesterday, but nobody went out to chat with Cade Brown to see if they could calm him down. We'll see if they want to change that with Riggs today, and looks like Riggs will stay on the mound by himself, get some chalk on the hands as Crandall, the DH, comes to the plates. Crandall from Arizona Christian University. He's a freshman going up against a 2-year freshman, Trey Riggs. 1 away, 2 on here in the top of the second in a scoreless ball game from Hays, Kansas. Crandall pinch hit yesterday, had 1 at bats and was out. He pinch hit for Owen Best. The 1-0 home from Fitz. It goes off of Evans. He loses it for a second, and each runner will move up 90 feet. It's Riggs on the mound. So Riggs will look to get settled down here. Can't give up 2 runs. Once Gameday took the lead yesterday, they controlled the game about halfway through before the Larks started putting guys through the base paths. Check swing here. It'll miss low, 3-0. Tyler Palmer looks like he's getting close to being done warming up in the pen. Riggs this year has an earned run in every single outing, and this 3-0 home will miss outside. He's walked 3 straight. And Frank Leo's looking down at his pen, and Keith Harper's going to come out of the dugout and have a chat with Riggs. Takes a long look at Tyler Palmer before heading to the mound, and Jackson Blue heads to the bullpen. We'll be back after the pitching mound visit here on Larks Network. Top of the second, bases are loaded here with only one out for Braden Love. Double play set up. Riggs misses low here, 1-0. He's walked 3 straight guys and throws a first pitch ball here to the 8-hole center fielder. Riggs has now walked 16 guys this season. Line drive goes into center field. It'll drop. Henry snags it and won't rush a throw home as runners stay, but Love does bring home Vogel from third. Love now at first, Crandall at second, Vogel at third. That was actually Rude who scored. And the Saints take a 1-0 lead. And we're going to go with Tyler Palmer now on the mound with the bases loaded. It'll be a day for Trey Riggs, and we'll be back after the pitching change. Line drive down the right field line on the first pitch from Tyler Palmer. It rolls to the corner off the bat of Dingus. A throw from Pearson won't happen. And clearing the bases on the double is Dingus. And it is now a 4-0 ball game. Tyler Palmer's first pitch is one that is hit well. And the Larks, you gotta feel the frustration here. 4 runs in the first 2 innings of both games. And it was a strange move to pull Fitz after just 1. And then put in Trey Riggs, who has an ERA and a double digits. It's a team that you want to beat. Either way, Dingus picks up 3 RBIs. Vogel scores, Crandall scores, and Love scores. Four nothing ball game. Runner in scoring position with 1 out. Tyler Palmer throws an off speed here. It drops in the zone here to the top of the order. Kalen Allball. Evans blocks this one. We'll catch Dingus in no man's land. He's back to second safely, though. 1-1 with the counts. Pickoff move spin, and we will catch Dinges this time, and now the bases are empty as we get out number 2. Good move from Palmer. Takes Dinges off the base paths. Dinges just picked up RBIs 14, 15, and 16 on the season. Brought home Luft for Luft's 19th run scored of the season. Crandall for his 12th run of the season. And Vogel for Vogel's 19th run of the season. 4-0 ball game, 2-1 count, 2 away, bases empty here in the top of the seconds. Palmer misses outside, 3-0. 3-1. Hitters counts. At the top of the order, all balls struck out in the first inning after some contention. And was part of that 1-2-3 inning from Fitz. Chopper goes to the third base side, but it rolls foul. The third base coach, Mike Coons, of the Game Day Saints, and Jackson Blue now up in the pen and warming up for the Larks. Palmer will take a deep breath and deliver home. He's a Nebraska native, goes to the University of Nebraska to play for the Cornhuskers. And I think his coaches will be impressed with most of his pitching this season. He gets taken down the right field line this time, but it does go foul. We'll go full count again and get a 3-2. Tyler Palmer has yet to give up an earned run this season. This is appearance number 5 for him. 4 in relief. Started against the OKC Generals on the 17th. Went 3 innings in his first and only starts. Game changer gave him the win, but again, we've seen all season. Don't trust that because you can't start and go 3 innings unless it's scheduled for a 3-3-3 in RMBL and get credited with the win. This one's hit well to Kavanaugh. He records out number 3 of a long second inning. The Saints score 4. It's their second 4-run inning of the series. Larks will look to rally here in the bottom of the second. Harrison will lead things off for the Larks here in the second inning. The Larks got a leadoff double from Zach Henry in the first, put him at third base, and then struck out 3 times in a row against Cole Dunn and left him stranded at third. We'll go 2-0 here. It's Cole Dunn's second inning of work. He struck out 31 this season through 31 innings, 3 of those against the Larks. Again, in the first inning, he's thrown 2 straight balls to Pearson. His first pitch in the zone gets rolled to first base. Goldie slides for it. It's going to be a tough play, and it goes off his glove, rolls into right field, and it's the Larks' second hit of the game, a single and a double now. And Pearson, the second straight leadoff base runner for the Larks. So we'll go to Brady Evans, looking to get momentum going for the Larks. Dunn pitched against the Larks on the 11th. That was game 1 of 2 against the Larks. Back in Colorado, he threw 3 innings in the start and had 5 earned runs giving up 5 walks in the process as well. That jumped his ERA up. Since then, he settled it down by 3 and gets a ground ball that rolls to Dingus. Brady Evans will beat the throw out at first, but he will reach on the fielder's choice. 2 ground balls over the right field side. This one will result in 1 out. So we'll go to Cade Brown, the first baseman from Oklahoma.
From the University of Oklahoma, number 28, Cade Brown.
See if we can get a courtesy runner for Brady Evans. He's our fastest catcher, but it's nice to give your guy time to suit up between innings. Dunn's last outing was against Utah on the mound. He went 6 innings in the start. No decision. Had an earned run, striking out 4 and walking 2. He misses the zone here to Brown. We'll go 1-0. Brown committed to Radford coming out of high school and spent a little bit of time there. He's actually a Delaware native. Played at Middleton in Delaware. In his year at Radford, through 38 innings, giving up 52 hits, 28 earned runs, and 10 walks, had an ERA there of 6.63. After going to Radford, he transferred to Shepherd and is a senior there. It's a 6'3" righty. 1-2 home. Cade Brown takes this one deep to left center, and Vogel and Luft move towards it. It's going to drop in front of the taco shop sign, bounces off the wall, and they're going to hold Brady Evans at third. It's the Larks' second hit of the inning, their second double of the day, and Brown puts 2 in scoring position, himself and Evans at second and third. Big hit from Cade Brown. That was one of the best balls he struck this season. Picks up his 3rd double of the season and his 4th extra base hit. Also has a home run on the season. So we'll go to Dylan Dreiling, who had a big game yesterday. Came in and pitch hit late in the game and had a couple of great at-bats at the plate. And just one at-bat. It was a hit, but he brought in 2 runs on the single to the right field side. It got in between the first and second baseman of Gameday. Got all the way to third with 1 out. And the Larks left him there as he was representing the tying run. First delivery to Dreiling, a fastball outside, 1-0. Dreiling, a Tennessee commit, has spent 3 years for the Hayes High Indians and had a great year this year, racking up some accolades and a lot of attention. 1-0 here, righty versus lefty. Dreiling watches this one miss outside. Kavanaugh on deck with Henry in the hole for Hayes. Dreiling this year batting .324 with a .425 on base percentage. Has picked up 11 hits and 34 at-bats. 2-0 home to Dreiling. He takes a hard cut, sends it high over the left field side. It drops in foul territory. So they'll put the count at 2-1 to Dreiling. Dreiling will have 1 year left of high school before he heads to Tennessee. Harrison was out on the fielder's choice. That is Brady Evans at third, and then Brown at second. .3-1 now to Dreiling hitters count to a guy who's played in just 1 game against the Saints. Prior to this one, had 1 at bat, but picked up 1 hit, driving in 2. 3-1 home. He sends to the backstop. 3-2. Larks are a team that just has been on fire in the month of July. That last night shocked a lot of the fans at the ballpark. Larks fans knowing it's the last game of the regular season turn up big tonight. Got a large crowd here to bring in some baseball. Payoff pitch on its way from Dunn to Dreiling. I'll go from the stretch. And Dreiling takes this one hard to first base. Goldie snags it. He will tag first himself, but not before Dreiling picks up his 3rd RBI against the Saints and brings home Brady Evans. Brown goes to third on the play as well. 2 away in a 4-1 ball game. Larks pick up a run there here in the bottom of the second. For Dylan Drouling, that is RBI number 13. And for Brady Evans, run score number 5 on the season. And it takes us to the bottom of the order. Matt Cavanaugh, the lowest he's hit this year. He has Cade Brown at third base. Brown has scored 18 runs this season. And Cavanaugh wants to make it 19. 0-1 count here to Cavanaugh, a third-year Lark out of UTA. He's a Keller, Texas native and stayed in Texas to play collegiately for the Texas Arlington Mavericks. 1-1 as this one drops below his knees. The 1-1 home to Cavanaugh, again below his knees, 2-1. This is Cavanaugh's first game this season against the Saints. He's been injured for a lot of the season and was a late arrival to the roster. Was on the roster at preseason, but didn't get to Hayes until a little bit later. Chops this, or no, I don't know why I said that. Flies this one to right field side, and Bailey goes into foul territory on the fly ball, not a chopper, and records out number 3. Larks put 2 in scoring position with 1 out, but leave one of them there. They score a run, get a run back. They're down by 3 as we move to the third here in Hayes.
Where I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. All of my friends are gonna be there too. Nothing in the world I'd rather do than grab a hot dog burger and a cold beer. You'll hear me yelling out a big cheer, 'cause whether they win or whether they lose, I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! For the Hayes Larks. I can't wait to see a home run. I know for sure there's gonna be one. I'll call out the players by their first name. Sure am glad I made it to the game. Rain or shine, I'm gonna be there. If the stands are full, I'll bring a lawn chair. So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks!
Top of the third here, Tyler Palmer returns for his second inning on the rubber. Faced a few guys in the second inning and got the Larks' last 2 outs. Allowed a double to line out and then picked a guy off. We'll go 0-1 the count here to Drew Sackett. Sackett struck out in the first inning against Fitzgibbons and is getting his first look at the Larks' third pitcher of the ballgame with Jackson Blue warming up in the pen. Tyler only listed as a outfielder on Nebraska's roster, but has been huge for the Larks on the mound this season. His most notable game for the Larks was against the Cannons, in a game that he came in relief and stayed on the mound for extra innings, throwing 4 innings, picking up his first of 2 wins of the season on the mound. And he also drove in 6 runs in that game with a 3-run home run. It was a big comeback for the Larks. They won it in 10 innings. Palmer will catch the inside zone and sack it down on strikes for the second time today. Sackett struck out 2 times yesterday. That's number 4 against the Larks in this series. And we'll get out number 1. Tyler Palmer has now struck out 9 guys this season through 11 innings. Takes us to Luke Bailey. He also struck out in the first inning. Tonight's first baseman out of Colorado Mesa University. 1 away. Palmer stands on the mound awaiting the batter to get in the box. Off speed, nice pitch. Gets to the low outside corner. No balls and a strike. Out on the mound, a 6'1" freshman. Will have 4 years left in Nebraska when he heads back there for the 2022 season out of the Big Ten. 1-1 popped up, and it goes into the right side of the infield. Pearson comes in, calls off Brown, shuffles a little bit, and gets it into his glove for outs number 2 of the 3rd inning.
The first baseman, number 11, Peter Goldie.
Take us to Peter Goldie, the cleanup hitter. Goldie on the day 0 for 1 as part of 4 straight retired. Larks have now retired 3 straight. It was 3 straight from Fitz, then Riggs got the first out of the 2nd. Then Riggs walked 3 in a row and allowed 1 hit before it was a day for Trey. 1 ball and no strikes here to Goldie, the first baseman. This one in the zone, 1-1. Two balls and a strike here. Two one home. It'll drop low. Sam Corral on your screen. 3-1 counts here with 2 away. And Palmer will walk his first batter of the day. So that'll take us to Jack Rude. He walked in the 2nd inning. All 3 walks prior to this one came off the hand of Trey Riggs. That is Palmer's 6th walk of the season. And he gets a first pitch strike here to Rude. Palmer was recruited as an outfielder out of high school, was a 7th overall player in the state, and was a 2nd overall outfielder in Nebraska. Had a perfect game rating of 9. One of the highest you can get from the service. Has a 1-1 count here against Root. Due for the Larks in the bottom of this 3rd inning will be the top of the order, Henry, Lawson, and Divis for the Larks. One, 2 is the counts. Last game of the season for both teams. Larks will be heading to the NBC after this, and the Saints will be done. Rude this season, .292 average with a .403 on base percentage and an OPS of .818. 1-2 home from Palmer. He goes from the stretch. Off speed, gets flown to left field. Riley takes 1 step back, then comes in on a couple steps and gets the 3rd outs. Palmer walks 1, but leaves him at first to end the 3rd inning. Larks will be down by 3 as we head to the bottom half of this 3rd. Zach Henry will lead things off in the bottom of the third. We're at the top of the order. He rips his first pitch down the first base line. It'll go just foul. He had a double in the first inning down the left field line. Pulls this one. Zach Henry as hot as anyone. We talked about him in the first inning, how good he's been this month. His on-base percentage above 600 in the month of July, batting nearly 500. He's picked up 17 hits in 35 at-bats, 2 home runs, 3 doubles, and 12 singles in just 16 games for Henry in July. He's one of the most athletic guys the Larks have had in a while. Can run, can hit, can field. He is just a huge asset for the team, and he's going to be big for the UTA Mavericks during his career. Has a 1-1 count here against Dunn. It is Dunn's third inning on the rubber. He will go from the windup here. Nobody up in the pen for the Gameday Saints with Blue up in the pen for Hayes. Henry watches this one miss below his feet, 2-1. Dunn in his career at Shepherd has an ERA of 5.88, but he's 4-0 through 17 appearances. Has spent 2 years there, 2020 and 2021 pitching, striking out 28 guys, walking 20. He'll go from the windup, the 2-1 home to Henry over the outside part of the plate on a fastball, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes, nobody out, nobody on here in the bottom of the third. Henry grounds one to the left side. Allball grabs it and throws to first. And they will get Henry out by just a step. Max McGuire unhappy with the call. Goldie fell over. His foot might have come off the bag, but right behind first base was the umpire, Matthew Weaver. And Henry almost has an infield single, but will go back to the dugouts for out number 1. Good play from Allball to Goldie for the first out of the third. We'll go to Cortland Lawson, and we'll get a chat between Weaver and Fitzpatrick here, and Henry will go back to first base ready to stay there if they need him. Lawson 0-4 on the day with the strikeouts, and we'll take a pause here during this break with Cortland's walk-up playing. Can't get a copyright claim on our stream. No copyright today. We've already been in a few situations with the music at the park getting into the stream. That's why every time they play the Cha-Cha Slide, Clap Your Hands part, we have to mute because that song's gone. It's in the past. Pop fly over to the right side of the infield. Goldie comes in, and he's been a part of the first 2 outs here, the third. And so we'll go to Divis.
The designated hitter, tonight's beverage batter,
It's Divis' last game at Larks Park and his 4th season with the team. And he's coming to the plate 0-for-1 today. He struck out looking in the first on a tough call from home plate umpire Hunter Fitzpatrick. 2 away, Larks down by 3 here in the third inning. Larks have 3 hits. Gameday has 2. No errors from either side. Larks have left 2 aboard, 1 in each of the first 2 innings. And both of them have been at third base. 1-0 here to Divis. Dunn delivers one. Divis lines it into left center. Alma's not going to get to this one. It rolls into left center. Divis rounds first base hard, chops his feet, and goes back to the bag with a 2-out single. Divis now has been aboard in every single game that he's played in the regular season, and will end his regular season with an on-base streak of 26 games. Had a hitting streak at 18 games, and it dropped after the Denver Cougars game. And as Divis is the beverage batter, he will get the Larks fans half-price beverages for the remainder of the third inning, and fans making their way down to the Van Pavilion thanks to Wyatt Divis. How fitting is it that he, in his last game in 4 years with the Larks, gets to be the beverage batter. Schmidt to the plate is a little bit early on the swing and has a 0-1 count, fouling it over to the third base side. Divis, part of a historic season for the Larks. Dunn just misses outside on the slider, 1-1. And it appears Jackson Blue is done warming up in the pen for Hayes. Divis this season, in terms of stolen bases, only stolen 1 in 1 attempt. He can move, but he's just very patient with his stuff. Schmidt takes this one to right center. It's going to drop. Divis rounds second, moves to third. It's a 2-out single. Larks trying to put together a 2-out rally. Back-to-back singles from Schmidt and Divis. Runners on the corners with 2 away. That'll bring us to Cam Pearson. Pearson today 1 for 1 with a single. That was Pearson's 28th single this season, his 42nd hit of the year. He is batting .446 and is one of 7 guys with an OPS above 1. We'll touch on that record in a little bit, as we'll, after this inning, check out how good the Larks have been in terms of on-base percentage between innings. 0-1 here to Pearson. Divis at third, Schmidt at first. We're at the 5 hole in the order. Dunn still on the mound. The righty goes from the stretch, gets one grounded right at the third baseman, Sackett. He takes a couple steps, throws to first in time, and Goldie snags it off the turf. A big snag saves a run, and the Larks go silent in the third inning. But let's check out how good the Larks have been this season in terms of getting on base. We got our 500 on base club, and Wyatt Divis leading the charge. He's going to break the single season record for an on base percentage. Lawson behind him with Brady Evans. And then Henry. That's an historic season. 4 guys with an on-base percentage above 400. This team has been so good this season. Have a team on-base percentage of .446, and these 4 guys have been leading a charge. So shout out to these guys, and they have been all terrific throughout the entire season for the Larks. Top of the 4th, Jackson Blue takes the game ball from Tyler Palmer. We see 1 1/3 from Palmer. He walks 1, allows a hit, no earned runs on the day for him. That one hit, though, was a huge one. It was a 3-run double from Dingus, but all 3 runs were earned to Trey Riggs. 2 balls in the strike here from Jackson Blue to the leadoff hitter, Noah Vogel. That was Palmer's 5th outing of the season. And this is Jackson Blue's 10th of the year. 7 in relief has started 3. His first 4 appearances were all in relief, then his next 3 out of 4 appearances were starts. His first start, he went 6 innings against Boulder, no earned runs, and struck out 2, walked just 1. It was a great outing for him. And in this one, he works a full count against the leadoff hitter, Vogel. Vogel walked in the second inning against Trey Riggs and is getting his first look at the Larks' 4th pitcher of the game. 3-2 home from Blue, grounded right back to him. It's off his glove. He recovers. Vogel's breaking down the first base line, and the throw gets away from Cade Brown. And that one might have been one that Blue should have just held on. He had to make like a hop throw, and it was wild. It's an E1, and Vogel goes to second on the overthrow. He scored a run already in today's game, and he's in scoring position.
The designated hitter number 8, Nick Crandall.
So we'll go to Nick Crandall. He walked in the second, was part of those 3 straight walks. He was number 2, and he also scored. Blues given up 26 hits this season through 24 innings on the rubber, 21 earned runs, and he struck out 17 guys. Runner at second, nobody out here in the top of the 4th inning from Hayes. Fly ball into right center field. It's going to drop. It bounces, rolls to the wall. Schmidt will get it after the wall, and it's a RBI double here. And that error proven costly. Crandall brings home a run, and Vogel scores his second of the game. This is just uncharacteristic. Larks have been so good this season, especially at home, and they have given up 10 runs to the Gameday Saints. And it's not the way they wanted to go out, but don't count them out yet. They came back by 10 runs against Gameday earlier this season. They've been huge against their bullpen in 2021 and great late in games. So, although it was 4 runs, don't count them out. Blue will miss low here, 1-0 here. Excuse me. We'll get a strike. 0-1 to Luft. He singled home a run in the second inning and then later scored. Blues last outing was against the Cougars, and he went 2 innings, allowed just 1 hit, walked 3 guys, struck out 1, no runs, and no earned runs. Blues off speed, right at the letters. Nice pitch, 0-2. Blue from the Woodlands, Texas. It's a 6'5 freshman. It's been his last year at UTA and tells me he's headed to Hutchinson. Looks at the runner at second. Crandall delivers home. Ground ball up the middle. Kavanaugh moves left. Slides. It goes under his arm. They're going to bring the runner home from third. The throw to Crowell was too far to the third base side. And things are falling apart for the Larks here. Henry waited a little bit too long on the throw. And a risky move from Mike Coons brought home a run. Crandall scores his second. And Loud picks up his second RBI of the day. And, you know, sometimes things just aren't going your way, but you have one of the best pitchers in the league on the mound to start the game. He faces 3 batters, strikes them all out, and we pull him after 1. And then since then, we've seen 4 earned runs from Trey Riggs and now 2 from Blue. And you just wonder what the situation would be like if Jake was still on the mound. Home 1 here. Nobody out, runner at first. Ground ball up the middle, goes under Blue. Pearson, Kavanaugh to Brown. Throw to Brown, not in time. They do get the leading runner out at second, and Dingus reaches on the fielder's choice.
Top of the Saints batting order, the shortstop number 4, Caleb Albaugh.
So we go to Caleb Albaugh at the top of the order. Started the 3rd time through the order for the Saints. Blue will look at the runner at first, check on him, and it's not in time. Larks have thrown their 2 highest ERAs today. Riggs at 12.6. That'll go up after the 4 earned runs, and Blue at 6.13 after throwing one of their top low ERAs, and Jake Fitzgibbons to start the game. 1-0 here to Albaugh, who's 0 for 2 with a line drive to Kavanaugh for the last out of the top of the second. Then he struck out against Fitzgibbons for out number 1 of the first inning. Check over again, it's just one to keep Dinges honest. Dinges from Neosho County Community College. To have first base Albaugh at the plate, he's from Metro State in Colorado. 1-0 counts in a 5-run ball game. Blue will go from the stretch. Runner holds this pitch above the letters. 2-0. Blue did not make an appearance for the Mavericks this season in 2021 after having a great high school career. Larks ready to turn a double play here. 2-0 home. Runner taken off. Crowd throws down. It's going to get the runner out, and you could not have a better throw from, that was Brady Evans, my apologies, behind the plate, not Sam Crowell. You could not have a better throw if you're Brady Evans. Pearson caught it right as his glove hit Dinges, and that was a dime from Evans, 180 feet to second, and that clears the bases and gives us out number 2. In the meantime, Blue throws a strike. It's a 2-1 count. Larks have now thrown out 13 stolen guys trying to steal bases this season. Evans leading the charge with 7. Crowell has thrown out 5, and Loomis has thrown out 1. Brady has now spent over 130 innings behind the plates for the Larks this season. That is the most innings catching for a Lark this year. 2-2. Blue 1 strike away from ending this 4th inning that Gameday has scored a couple of runs. 2-2 home, it goes outside, 3-2. Larks want to get a lot of their arms up and going today, because they will have over a week off before the NBC. Line drive, this one will go up the middle and drop. It's a third hit that Blues allowed in the past four batters. Every single runner or at-bat this inning has resulted in a base runner. Vogel reached on an error, Crandall doubled, Luff singled, Dinges reaches on a fielder's choice. Now Albaugh singles. And I'll put 2 on with the runner at first. Blue catches the inside zone. No balls and a strike. Do for the Larks trying to get some runs on the scoreboard will be Evans, Brown, and Dreiling in the bottom of the 4th inning. 6, 7, and 8 hitters. 0-1, swing and a miss on an off-speed. Nice pitch from Blue. Confused Sackett's timing just enough to get a whiff. Sackett on the day 0 for 2. Now going to get hat-tricked here in the 4th. Struck out against Palmer and struck out against Fitzgibbons. 0-2 home. He rips one to left field, but it is fouled by about 15 feet. It's a scorcher at the ballpark. The past few games at home have been some absolute high temperatures. I don't know if that's been part of the long innings on the mound that get to pitchers. They certainly can be. But it's tough to be on the mound in the heat, especially when innings keep going. And the breeze not helping anything here. Just a slight one moving in from center field. And Sackett strikes out for the 3rd time in 4 innings. His past 2 looking. And that'll end the 4th inning. Saints get 2, put their lead at 5. And it sends us to the bottom half of the 4th. Hayes down by 5. Bottom of the fourth, Brady Evans will lead things off for the Larks. Brady on the day, 0 for 1. He reached on a fielder's choice back in the second inning and later scored the Larks' first run and only run of the game. Takes this one over the grandstand. 1 ball and a strike here to the catcher from Murray State College. Cole Dunn in his 4th inning of work. He has struck out 3 guys, given up 5 hits.
Brown out t-shirts.
I was going to say, I don't know what's going on down there. That's the voice of Sam Crowell, Larks catcher, DH, and first baseman. Sam, glad to have you on the mic tonight. It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's great to be back, man.
The best duo on the Larks.
Yeah.
You can go down and tell the guys that. Kavanaugh, Lung, they think they got it, but the fans seem to like Crowell the best.
I think it's me and you. We take it, man.
Just make it work up here. Brady Evans having a 1-2 count, looking for his first hit of the game. Evans.
It's getting rowdy down there for these t-shirts.
It's not like they don't give him out every day or anything, but
It's the last game.
Evans reaches low for this one and fouls it off. Evans having an absolutely great summer this season. On base percentage above 500 and is one of 7 guys with an OPS above 7. This team just keeps flying through orders and putting guys aboard, but they want to get that going here today, down by 5 in the 4th inning. Dunn will throw home. Evans lines this one above Dinges. He leaps up and robs Evans of a hit. So we'll go 1 away to Cade Brown. Larks were down by 10 against this team over a month ago and won by 2 in 12 innings. Do you feel a comeback happening here, Sam?
Yeah, I'm not worried at all. We like to let it get a little later than we should, like last night, but I'm not worried. We'll figure it out.
Last night down by 5, came up so short, had the tying run at third base with only 1 away, and then a line out and a strikeout left that guy there, but Larks can get the bats rolling here early, and Cade Brown sends one to right center field. It's off the glove of Bailey, and he falls down the warning track. Brown goes to second, and if they rule out a hit, it's his 2nd hit of the day, his 2nd double, and he's in scoring position. Larks rallying here, and Bailey shaken up in right field.
Yeah, Cade's starting to heat up now. There it is.
Cade came into this game with just 3 extra base hits and has had 2 at-bats and has 2 doubles. And he's valuable on the mound for the Larks, too. He's going to be a big player as the Larks look for their first NBC title. That'll bring Dylan Dreiling to the mound, to the plate, actually. On the day, he's 0 for 1. It looks like Bailey's okay in right field, and we'll get going with the 8-hole. Dreiling looking for his first hit and to bring home Brown. Brown was left at third base in the last inning that he played in. That was his 2nd. One away, runner in scoring position at 2nd for the Larks. Dunn comes home. Dreiling pops one up, and losing the mask is Rude. He moves back, and it's off his glove.
Calling a home run now.
You feeling it?
Yeah, he gave him another life. At least extra base hit. Run scoring for sure.
I mean, Dylan last night had 1 chance to hit and bring us within striking distance. Brought home 2 runs on 1 swing of the bat, so we'll see if he can do it again today. Dylan has hit a grand slam this season, obviously an opportunity off the plate, but he has hit 1 home run. It was that one. It was against the Cougars back in June. He's picked up 12 RBIs this season and is looking for number 13. Actually had number 13 back in the 2nd inning. He's looking for number 14. He grounded out to Goldie and brought home Brady Evans. 1-1 count here to the Tennessee Volunteer commits. Dunn in his 4th inning of work throws a 1-1 home. Dreiling watches it miss outside. 2 balls and a strike to Dreiling. This is Dreiling's 13th game with the Larks this season. He's slugging .441, putting his OPS at .866. Larks have 7 different guys with OPSs above 1, and that's just ridiculous numbers for a team that's been hitting so well in this summer. 2-2 count here to Dreiling. Kavanaugh on deck with Henry in the hole.
Henry's been insanely hot, man.
He's batting, I believe, 600 in the month of July.
Yeah, it's absurd.
He's starting out a little slower than he wanted, as I talked about earlier on the broadcast. But this month, he has been on fire. Has a 13-game hitting streak right now, and he's been lights out. Had that home run last night to put us on the board, and that was the real big thing that got the momentum in our favor. And so far today, he has an extra base hit already. It was a double back in the first.
Yeah, love playing against that dude growing up. He was always like that.
He likes to bring up the football game between your two schools, too, a lot.
Yeah, I don't really like to talk about that too much, but
He stole a base in the first inning, and that put him at 8th in a single season for stolen bases. And Dreiling will have an infield single here, shows off the wheels and puts runners on the corners. That was Henry's 26th stolen base. It ties in with Jace Tingler for 8th all-time in a single season. Jace Tingler right now the manager of the San Diego Padres. So one away. Runners at third and first. Round got to third in the second inning, and it was left there. Kavanaugh coming to the plate. He's 0 for the day, flying out to Luke Bailey in the second inning.
Cavs going to start heating up here soon.
As this one gets away from Rude, Brown breaks home, and he comes home and scores the Larks' second run of the game. For a little bit there, I was worried he wasn't going to make it home, but he got there.
Had to take off the trailer a little bit, huh?
Brown scores his 19th run this season, and on that 90-foot dash, gets the Larks within 4. So runner in scoring position, and Dylan Dreiling didn't get a score yesterday, but is looking to score here. Larks have scored in every other inning today, none in the first, 1 in the second, none in the third, and then 1 in the fourth. 2-0 here to Cowboy. Kavanaugh had his first game with the Larks in 2019. He hit a home run in his first at-bat. This is last game of the Larks for the Larks in 2021 of the regular season. How great would it be if he could cap it bookends with home runs?
Yeah. Love to see Cowboy hit a home run.
As an exclusive club, first at-bat as a Lark hitting a home run. There's only 2 members in the past 3 years. Obviously Kavanaugh, and then
and
this guy right here.
And Cortland.
That's right, Cortland.
Yeah, except
He wasn't here for the first game of the season.
It was just his first game of the season.
Yeah, that's crazy. 2 UTA Mavericks, 1 Tennessee Volunteer, and this Maverick at the plate has a hitter's count. Shortstop, 3rd year with the Larks, has been a team leader this year. And he's looking to bring home Dreiling. Chops one to the shortstop, all ball. Dylan goes to third. All ball looks at Dreiling, throws to first, and Goldie catches this one right in front of the turf for out number 2.
Hottest hitter we got right here.
Zach.
I know his dad Mark's listening, so don't be recording that and sending it to him.
I don't think Zach needs that for his ego.
Yeah, come on, Mark. Don't be telling him. Don't be telling him what I'm saying.
And we'll have a mound visit here. But Henry, been great this year. Started off his season with a hat trick of strikeouts against the Gameday Saints. And since then, has been on fire against this team. He's scored 5 runs against the Denver Gameday Saints. Driven in 3 runs and walked 3 times. Had a home run last night and is looking to keep things rolling for the Larks here in the 4th. Henry in the month of July, OPS of 1.30. He is slugging 700.
He's hitting 700?
He's hitting 480 as on-base percentage above 600 and slugging 700.
Yeah, he's on something right now. He's absurd.
Been on fire lately, looking to keep.
This is the Zach I'm used to right here. This one.
And I remember Kavanaugh talking about him earlier on the season, the broadcast, how excited he was for what Henry was going to be able to do. Round ball goes to first. Henry rolls down to first base, and he is safe. That is the second infield single for the Larks in this inning. Their 7th hit of the day, and they show off the wheels here. Henry brings home Dylan Dreiling. Dreiling scores his first run of the day, and the deficit is now 3 after trailing by 5 going into this inning.
Number 22, Cortland Lawson.
So actually the Larks' 8th hit. Scoreboard gets updated now. Brown has scored, Dylan Dreiling has scored, and Henry picks up an RBI. That is Henry's 11th RBI in the past 16 games. He's stealing on the first pitch, and he will steal his 27th base of the season. Puts himself in scoring position. Larks rolling here. You feel the same way you did in the last comeback against this team?
Yeah, always. I never count us out. We're always here. It's just it's whenever we decide to lock it back in.
That stolen base from Henry puts him at 7th all time in a single season. And Lawson sends this one to center field. Henry's going to be waved home. Love has some trouble with it. Lawson goes from first. He rounds there and goes to second. He will be safe.
Oh boy.
Larks' second straight hits, and they're 4th in their past 5 hitters. And this place is rolling.
Hustle double right there, baby.
That one is big. Henry scores his first run of the day. And for Henry, this season, that is run score number 32. That is second on the team, behind only Cam Pearson, now tied with Larks legend Wyatt Divis for second. Lawson picks up an RBI. And for Quartz, RBI number 18 this year. 2 away to Wyatt Divis, and on the wild pitch, Lawson moves up to third, and momentum in favor of Hayes. It's a 6-4 ball game here in the bottom of the 4th, 2 away.
Man, let's talk about this weather that we've been having, man.
And too hot.
I mean, what is going on?
That's Kansas, man.
I mean, it's absurd. I thought I was dying yesterday.
The first part of the season was so nice at the ballpark. You couldn't beat it at night at the ballpark, but it's been a little bit miserable here lately.
I'm saying.
Guess we have AC up here.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. Not all the way, but it's there.
It makes it a little bit tolerable.
Yeah, fair.
2-0 count to Divis, but when you're on the mound as a pitcher, that heat can get to you when you keep staying on the rubber. We'll see if that gets to Dunn here. He's thrown 3 straight balls to Vaca, and Divis singled in the 3rd inning and struck out in the 1st. He's on pace to break the single-season record for the Larks in terms of on-base percentage, a record he set in 2018, batting average, on-base percentage, and OPS. It's been a historic season for the Wyatt Divis 2021 campaign. And this is a team that's had legends come through. It's Lance Berkman, Jack Wilson, Albert Pujols, Divis up there with the best of them. 3-1 count here for Wyatt Divis. Leading the team in OBP, average slugging, and OPS. He will walk. Yet again, he led the Larks last year with walks and picks up his 23rd of the season. Larks will bring their 8th hitter to the plate of the inning.
Yeah, baby, yeah.
And so out of the dugouts will be Mike Coons. See if they pull Dunn here. And it looks like we will go to the pen here in the 4th inning. Hayes has momentum, have put aboard 5 of their last 6. Runners on the corners down by 2 here in the 4th. Bottom of the fourth, Grant Schmidt to the plate for the Larks. Schmidt this year has one of the highest slugging percentages and has a big RBI opportunity coming his way. Runners on the corners, ball gets away from Rude, but runners hold at first and second. 1-0 count here to Schmidt. Schmidt this season, 27 RBIs. That is the third most on the team behind Pearson and Jeminian. Jeminian not with the team right now, went back to see his family thanks to some generous players on Larks. You were one of the guys behind that same. How awesome was that for Leo to get to go home and see his family?
That was probably one of the coolest things that I've gotten to do baseball related, like just for everyone to come together like that. And, you know, we found him well over $1,000 to buy a flight and, you know, give him a little extra spending money. Like, I mean, to see like the happiness in that kid's face, because, you know, all he is he's always happy, always. And just to see his reaction to it, that was probably the greatest thing about it, you know, that genuine, you know, smile that he got to go back home after, what, 2 years?
Right, two and a half almost.
Yeah, like it gives me goosebumps thinking about it, you know.
It was awesome. He didn't expect it coming either. That was probably one of my favorite parts, and you came up behind him with the money in your hand. It was just awesome, man. I'm so happy for him.
Me too.
And this one gets away from Root again. Lawson trots home. It's a one-run ball game. Lawson scores his first of the day. Divis goes to second. And Larks Park is feeling its 4 unanswered runs here, down by just 1. For Cortland, that is run scored number 26 this season in 21 games, averaging over 1 run scored per game. I think that Leo thing, the way the team rallied just shows how tight this team was. I know you and I had talked about it before, but this team is just so close with one another. Look the way we rallied behind Luke and now rallied for Leo. I mean, it's just a great group of guys winning together, and I don't know, it just feels like this is the most like inclusive team I've ever been, you know, around for the Larks.
Oh yeah, 100%. Me and Fitz were talking about it in the outfield today, and just talking about the NBC, and you know, he was like, you know, I really want to win it just for all of us. And I was like, you know, it's a pretty good point. You know, it'd be awesome if, you know, we just all stayed out here all summer away from family and away from all of our friends, and you know, we met everyone the first day. I mean, only a handful knew each other coming into this, and so, you know, it's pretty cool. A pretty cool story that you could tell in the future, you know.
I think that's one of the coolest things about summer ball. You come in, maybe know 1-2 guys if you're coming with teammates or you're a returner, but all of a sudden by the end of the season, you know every guy. You're spending every day with them. These are your best friends for the summer, and you're going to do some awesome stuff with them. Ball will roll to the dugout. Divis rounds third. He's going to slide in home, and he is safe. It's a 6-6 ball game. And this crowd is on their feet for the last game, and Divis hitting absorbed in the dugout. The team is fired up, and so is the crowd. 5 unanswered.
That's a good example right there, though.
I mean, team's close. You see the way he walked to the dugout and immediately got mobbed.
It's definitely a team full of competitors, and you know, I was talking to one of my friends from back home today, and you know, he was asking how it's going. I was like, you know, it's honestly probably one of the coolest things I get to do about, you know, baseball wise, is I get to go around the country and meet new people, and you know, if you think about it, I'd probably would have never heard of Hayes, Kansas if I didn't come here and play summer ball, but I couldn't think of my life without it now.
It's been one of a summer for the record books for the Larks, but not to take us away from that, but new pitcher into the game is Dylan Weaver. This is his second outing against the Larks this season. He blitzed 2 straights, awarded on either a walk or a hit by pitch. Larks have now batted around as we go to Evans. Weaver pitched against the Larks in that 18-16 ball game. He threw 4 1/3, had 5 earned runs, and the Larks are continuing to put runs on him. We've bringing our 10th hitter of the inning to the plate in Brady Evans, with Pearson at first and Schmidt at second. Mike Coons out of the dugout will take the ball from his righty and bring in a new pitcher. 2 away here in the 4th. Larks have now batted around. We'll go to Brady Evans. New pitcher into the game, Ryan Meyer, number 20 out of Northeastern Junior College. The first pitch he throws hits Evans. The second hit batter out of the last 3. And the bases are loaded with 2 outs for a guy who's 2 for 2 with 2 doubles. Big at bat coming here from Caleb Brown. Evans at first, Harrison at second, and Schmidt at third for the Larks. Larks have scored 5 in this inning alone. You said you weren't worried about a comeback.
Never.
And since you said that, 5 unanswered.
Bingo. It's a relaxed team. Never press.
Always confident, never doubting themselves.
Yeah.
And Brown takes this one high to left field. Vogel moves in. And one that was hit high, but I think it's going to be out number 3. Larks leave the bases loaded, but they score 5, bringing 11 to the plate. And we've been taking a tour of the great season for the Larks this season. And let's take a look at our home run kings of the year. Grant Schmidt and Tyler Palmer each with 7. And Sam, you at 6. What do you got to say about the long ball this year for the Larks?
We love it. We live and die by it. You know, it's a really powerful team, 1 through 9. Everyone can hit the ball out of the yard.
But this is a team hit 26 more home runs than they did last year and are leading the RBL with home runs with these 3 guys in the charge. We'll continue to check out how great the Larks have been this year throughout the rest of this game, but we'll head to the top of the 5th. Hayes and the Saints tied at 6. Top of the 5th, Jackson Blue back to the mound for his 2nd inning of work here for the Larks. He's the 4th pitcher of the game for Hayes. After we saw Fitz strike out the side in the first, we went with Riggs, then Palmer, now Blue. Blue faced 7 in the 4th inning, 2 runs scored. He left 1 guy on base without walking a guy. He has a 1-1 count here to Luke Bailey, the 3-hole right fielder for the Gameday Saints. Bailey on the day 0 for 2. He struck out against Fitz and then popped out against Palmer. Blue from the windup, 1-2 home, outside 2 balls, 2 strikes. Blue has great stuff on the mound. It's just when he locates it is when he's thriving.
100%. He's got some gross off speed.
This one gets taken deep to left field, and all Dryling can do is look at that one. Bailey hits a solo shot to get things going in the 5th. The Saints get their lead back. For Luke Bailey, check out his numbers now after that one. That is home run number 2 this season for him. RBI number 20 and a run scored number 19. Larks have hit still 30 more home runs than the Game Day Saints this year. Talking about in the last inning about how the Larks have hit more home runs than they did last year. This year the Larks have 66 more hits, 103 more RBIs, 115 more runs, 10 more walks, 120 higher slugging, 141 points higher in OPS, 61 more stolen bases, doubled from last year, 221 more total bases, and 58 more extra base hits. Just crazy improvements from last year. And you talked about it. 1 through 9 can hit every day, and it's been lots of success for the Bats this year.
Yeah, no matter who you roll out there, you know that they're going to put up numbers. It's great. You don't really have to stress. It's like off days like this, you can just relax. You really have to press.
I mean, when you have 5 guys that you can rotate in and out of the order every day and have 5 great guys come off the bench and then have them tomorrow ready to go, I mean, it's just been huge. We have depth, and every guy who has a bat on this team can hit. And, I mean, we got 24 guys on the roster. Probably about 14 of them are hitters, and all 14 of them can hit.
Exactly. I mean, doesn't matter who you roll out there. It's crazy.
This one's ripped to left field, but it goes into the bullpen. Saints seen the ball well out of Blues' hands here in the top of the 5th. They've scored 3 runs in the past 2 innings against them and are looking for more. Blues' season high in strikeouts is 6, and he's looking for number 2 here with 1 strike away from sending Goldie back to the dugouts. The 1-2 home, it'll drop low, 2-2 counts. So Larks' last regular season of the game, and we'll be headed to the NBC World Series. You won't be able to catch those games on Larks Network. We're not streaming them, but
sad.
I know, me too, man. I wish I was able to go, but not my decision as Blue strikes out his 2nd of the game. But you can still catch NBC action on the radio here in Hayes. But
Do they stream it up there?
I don't know the answer to that one, but Sam, what's the team thinking heading into the NBC right now?
We're amped up. We're ready for it. I think everyone's just kind of on the same page where it's like at the same time everyone's ready to get home, and get ready for the fall, but we've spent our whole summer out here, just us together, just for this one tournament. You know what I'm saying? So it's really like it's win at all costs. Like we want it, every single player wants it. I mean, even like when you get a doubt on someone, you're like, I don't really know if they care like about what we're all trying to do here. Like you'll see them react in a way where it's like, oh dang, like he does care. Like he does want this to be a special group, And that's the most encouraging part about it all is that, everyone's all in on it.
So just a group of guys coming together for the summer, trying to do something larger than the team. I mean, this is a community that wants it too. I mean, we've had 5 runner-up appearances. I know Harp and Leo want it badly, and I mean, this is a group of guys I'm really confident in headed to postseason play. Lou, a 3-0 count here against Rude, and he will walk him on 4 pitches. It's been a home run, a walk, and a strikeout here in the 5th for Blue.
I would love to bring, I'd love for NBC Championship to come back here, the people would love it. The crowd's been great all year. They've supported us through 100-degree heat. They've been out here on the good days, the bad days, all the sponsors we've had, all the work that's been put into it, and even our friends that we've made here, they'd love to see us win it. It's just, I don't know, it'd be special, man.
I mean, it really took a community together to support this team. I was meaning to give them shout-outs anyway, but we got Jen and JoJo down at the Larks Nest. They're always, I think JoJo does so much behind the scenes for the Larks. Then you got Corey down grilling with his family. You got Daryl helping out too. I mean, Brian Dreiling, Ken and Jolene Winholes. I mean, there's really a whole staff that goes into this to get things going for the Larks and put this season on. It's been a special one for the 75th anniversary season. 1-1 counts. It'll miss below the knees here at Vogel. 2-1. Two balls and a strike here with one away, with Root at first base. Chopper to second base. Pearson waits on it, and he will go to first. Underhand, Brown gets it in time. Smart play, just going to one. And we'll get Vogel out for the first time today. Vogel now 0 for 2, reaching on an error and walking. Now has a ground out. 2 away, runner at second base in scoring position.
The designated hitter, number 8, Nick Crandall.
Crandall to the plate. He's 1 for 1. He doubled in the 4th inning and then walked in the 2nd. He scored 2 times, and he's driven in 1 run. Due for the Larks in the bottom of this 5th inning, trying to get some more action for the bats will be Drowning, Kavanaugh, and Henry. 2 away, Blue goes home. Outside heater, 1-0. Blue has now thrown 25 2/3 this season. He's 1-0 on the year, and this is his 7th appearance in relief. And Evans will have a chat with his righty. Larks scored 5 in the last inning, picked up 1 run in the 2nd. They brought 11 to the plate in the last inning, picking up 4 hits, 2 walks, leaving the bases loaded, but they did pick up 5 runs in the efforts. One and 0 counts. Evans back behind the dish. Evans has had a great game defensively today. He's thrown out a runner. This is a team behind the dish that has thrown out 13 base runners. You got 5 of those. I mean, you guys have just been killing it behind the dish. You got 3 catchers who all got cannons behind the plates. What's it been like to have 2 other guys to lean on as well to get you some rest behind the plates?
It's been real nice. Brady holds his own back there. He's a workhorse. And, he really had to take most of the load whenever I pulled my hamstring. And, he stepped up to the plate with it. And, I can't thank him and Brock enough. We learn from each other. We watch. And, we've had great conversations about pitch calling and, whatever. But, this whole team, is really, really good with learning from each other. We'll talk hitting, talk fielding, anything. It's great.
Blue thought he had a strikeout there and will miss 2-2, but I think that just goes back to what we were talking about earlier. This is a really tight mesh team, and everybody learns from each other, and I think it's going to be something that every guy here will remember for the rest of their lives this summer in Hays, Kansas.
100%. We always look at each other and we're like, we definitely didn't expect this.
Swing and a miss. Ball gets away from Evans. And on the drop, 3rd strike, we'll have runners on the corners. So 2 away. Runners on the corners. As we go to the 8-hole, Braden Luft. Luft on the day, 2 for 2 with a pair of singles. He's driven in 2 runs and scored 1 himself for the Gameday Saints. He will take some time on the mound before throwing here to the center fielder. Blue delivers home, swing and a miss, gets the heater behind Luft. 0-1 with the counts. First pitch strike has been huge for the Larks this season, and Blue, no different than the rest of them, starts out 52% of his batters with a first pitch strike, and when he does, 72% of those guys end up with an out. 0-1 home, gets lined to the backstop. 0-2.
Got a bunch of strikeout guys.
Fitz, who started the game, the biggest of them, he struck out 54 and leading the team right now. I mean, Larks love the long ball, but they also love the strikeout.
Exactly. I love catching that dude. He's a competitor.
0-2 Holmes, swing and a miss. 2 strikeouts in a row, 3 in this inning. And Blue leaves runners on the corners, down by 1 as we go to the bottom half of the 6th. And we talked about strikeouts. Let's check out the Larks leaderboard for strikeouts right now. Jake Fitzgibbon's currently leading the way. He has 54 strikeouts. That's the most on the team. Wyatt Divis just behind him with 49, and then Cade Brown with 43 in third, and Hunter Parker. Those 4 guys striking out batters like no other. And you talked about Jake. Faced 3 batters today, struck them all out, and it has been historic this season for the Larks pitching staff. This is a team that struck out 20 more guys this year than they did last year, even in the NBC tournament included. That'll take us to the bottom of the 5th. Hayes down by 1 here in Hayes. Bottom of the 5th, Dylan Dreiling will lead it off for the Larks. Dylan today 1 for 2 with a single and a ground out. He drove in a run and also scored a run back in the 4th inning. Larks scored 5 in their last inning of work, and they have a 2-0 count here against Dreiling. Still Ryan Meyer on the mound in the last inning. He was the 3rd pitcher of the inning alone. He's the 3rd pitcher of the day. Not just 1 out. And Dreiling rips this one to right field. It's going to drop in the warning track. Hits the wall, and it's a leadoff double. Larks' 2nd leadoff double of the day. Their 4th double of the day. And they are showing no signs of stopping here in the 5th.
That's huge right there.
So leadoff double puts a runner in scoring position for Matt Cavanaugh. He's due for a hit. 0 for 2 on the day. The fly out and a ground out. Cavanaugh in his 3rd year with the Larks. And is looking for his first hit of the day.
Yeah.
Rips one to left center. If it drops, it's going to be a hit, and it is. And he puts Dreiling at 3rd. They're going to hold him, and the throw is a rainbow to catcher. Excuse me. That was Allball that caught it, and Cavanaugh read it well and took 2nd in the process. Back-to-back hits for the Larks on balls, well hits. And they're swinging here. 2 in scoring position with nobody out. Got a guy up in the pen for Gameday. Now they're going to stick with Meyer against Zach Henry. Henry, one of the hottest hitters in the league right now. He's 2 for 3 with a single, a double, a home run, and an RBI. As a first pitch ball. Zach now 7th in the Larks record book in terms of stolen bases in a single season, and is looking to put his way into the on-base percentage record book as well. He grounds one over the right side, and he will beat the play at first, and Dreiling scores from 3rd, and we're tied again. And they will get him between the base paths at 1st and 2nd. It's a pickle to monitor because Cavanaugh is at 3rd. He'll stay there, but Henry picks up an RBI, but gets out in between 1st and 2nd. 3 straight hits for the Larks, but that's out number 1. Dreiling scores his 2nd of the day. Cavanaugh's at 3rd. Henry picks up his second RBI, number 21 of the season, as we go to Cortland Lawson with Kavanaugh at third and one out. Hayes and Gameday tie. One away, and they're in the bottom of the fifth. Hayes has now scored 41 runs against Gameday this year over the course of 3.5 games. 0-1 here to Lawson. Larks won game 1 against the Saints 12-7. Won game 2 in a classic 18-16 in 12 innings, and then dropped the game last night. Looking to split this series here and win the season series tonight. 0-1 home to Lawson. Just catches the outside corner. No balls and 2 strikes here to this third baseman from Tennessee. Every single Lark tonight has gotten aboard at least once, and a majority of them have been aboard 2 times.
It's impressive.
And that's not the first time we've done this either. This is a team that just knows how to get aboard and knows how to score.
I feel like it's pretty common for us, honestly.
Oh, yeah. And game 1, that game, we won 12-7. Every single guy, 1 through 9, got aboard. And then game 2, everybody got aboard. Most everybody got aboard multiple times. And Lawson rips a single, 4 hits, and 2 runs here in the 5th. Larks take their first lead of the day. Larks are rolling here. And Kavanaugh scores his first of the day. All but 2 guys have scored now.
Tonight's A3 liquor beverage batter, number 16, Wyatt Davis.
So that'll bring Davis to the plate, and a 1-run ball game. Davis, his 4th and last season for the Larks. He's a legend here in Hayes, and will be a name that the Larks fans remember well. He's the beverage batter, so not only if he gets a hit, could he bring home Lawson, who's now at second. He give the Larks fans half-price beverages for the remainder of the inning. 1-0 count here to Davis with 1 away. Pitcher done warming up in right field for Gameday. We'll see when they want to bring him in. Larks have had 4 hitters come to the plates. I've gotten 4 hits, 3 straight singles and a double, and I've scored 2 unanswered. Davis a little too eager on this swing, grounds it to Max McGuire. We'll go 1-1. Wyatt batting well over 400 this season. And with runners in scoring position, he's batting .588. So no other guy I'd rather have on the plate than Wyatt Davis with a runner at second. The second guy closest to him is Evans, batting .450 with runners in scoring position. Davis definitely has the clutch gene at the plate.
UTA, we call it a clutch bone. He's got the clutch bone in him.
Well, that's what we'll start saying now for Davis. Either way, he gets it done at the plate and at the mound. 2-1 home in the zone, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two, 1 away. Lawson at second base. Schmidt on deck with Pearson in the hole. Davis sends this one into the fan pavilion. Will stay 2-2. Larks have only lost 2 games this month, 2 of them within a week of each other. But we're on a 14-game winning streak. That's the longest 14-game winning streak, the longest winning streak in franchise history for the Larks. It's been a great month for Hayes. 2-2 home to Davis. It's inside. He's working a great at bat here, and we'll go full. Davis been aboard 2 times already today, a walk and a single. Looking to be aboard for the 3rd straight inning. Wyatt has a contact rate at nearly 900. He's a guy who having a great season. The payoff pitch, he lines it well to right field. If it was fair, it would have been huge, but it is fouled by quite a bit, and we will stay 3-2. Working the pitch count here of Meyer And I get the feeling that this might be Meyer's last batter he sees. Only gotten 2 outs and allowed 4 hits and 2 earned runs. Got another payoff pitch here to Divis. From the righty, he comes home. Divis brings his hands inside and fouls it off. And keeps this at-bat alive and keeps Meyer on the mound. Both the games the Larks have won against the Saints this year, it was Wyatt Divis on the mound picking up the win. Game 1 going 5 innings and just 1 earned run. In Game 2, through 2 innings, in the extra innings, through innings 11 and 12, and picked up the win as well. With a payoff pitch home from Meyer, Divis brings it to right center. Glove comes in. Diving efforts off his glove. It's a 1-out single. Larks, 5 batters, 5 hits, and runners on the corners. And that's half-price beverages for the Larks fans.
Go get them, everyone. Go get them.
Was this something you heard of before coming to Hayes? Was a beverage batter?
Kind of, in a way. But I didn't really get the full gist of it. But yeah, it's electric here. People love it.
It's a legendary thing here at the ballpark. And Mike Coons will come out of the dugouts, and I think this is the end of Meyer. We'll be back after the break. New pitcher to the game. Larks runners on the corners, 1 away, up by 1 here in Hayes. One away, bottom of the 5th. Runners on the corners. New pitch in the game, Jacob Reeker. With Grant Schmidt coming to the plate. Schmidt is hit by a pitch in his last plate appearance, and the one before that, he singled. He's one of 2 Larks without a run scored or an RBI today. 0-1 counts. He's looking for RBI right here. Lawson at third. Was creeping down the line, ready for a Schmidt hit. Schmidt, one of a number of guys, 7 to be exact, with OPS above 1, and is looking to add to that number here. Swings above or under that one. We'll go 1-2. Schmidt has hit 7 home runs this season. He's driven in 27 and scored 31 times for the Larks this year. Fort Hays State Tiger from Hastings, Nebraska has a 1-2 count.
One of the strongest dudes I've ever seen.
He's a specimen.
Yeah. He hits the baseball very far.
Very simply put, yeah. A 1-2 count here to Schmidt. I mean, he not only does he lead the team in home runs, but they're not wall scrapers.
No.
He sends them.
Yeah. He puts a charge into him.
The Larks, a lot of power hitters this year, and some guys you wouldn't even expect to have power have turned it on lately. I know Leo last year, not really a long ball threat this year. I think he has 4. I mean, he had 7 at Clarendon after not having any the year before. Tyler Palmer put up like 6 over the course of like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was absurd.
I mean, Larks we hitting the cover off the ball in the month of July. 2-2. Schmidt almost gets hits for the second time today, and we will have a full count here to Grant. Pearson on deck with Evans in the hole. This is the 6th hitter of the inning for Hayes. They have 5 hits, 4 straight singles and a double. Take away the Zach Henry pickle, and we won't have any outs, but 1 away. Payoff pitch on its way from Reeker. This one gets grounded to Sackett, and the throw is wild to second, and that'll score Cortland, and Divis goes to third. So gift right there, and Larks make it a 9-7 game, and they're still only 1 away with runners on the corners. Rules an E5, so it won't be a hit for Schmidt. But Lawson scores his second of the day, so a year in review, Sam. I mean, we still got the NBC, but what's been your thoughts about being on the Larks this season?
You know what? Coming into Hayes, I didn't really expect much, and you know, I was really took by surprise of how good it was. Well, I'll let you explain what just happened there.
Yeah, we'll have a double play here, but we'll finish out with your thoughts here as Pearson grounds into an inning-ending double play. Larks pick up 3.
You know, so I was coming in not, you know, expecting a lot, but starts with my host family. You know, my host family's been great. You know, I'm sure I'm not easy to deal with, but they've put up with me. I'd like to thank the Purdy's, you know. They've been great to me. My great cook, Jess, is always there to talk, joke around about whatever. Their son, Jarek, he's been real cool, you know. It's hard to find a 7th, 8th grader that, you know, you enjoy talking to, and I enjoy talking to Jarek. But, you know, Cam introduced me into all these people around here. You know, he's coming here. He's coming to play baseball here, so he introduced me into a great group of people, and, you know, I couldn't imagine my life without Hayes, you know. It's kind of crazy to think about leaving, you know, after I've been here for, 2 months, 3 months, but, you know, I've enjoyed the crowd. I've enjoyed the baseball here. It's something I'll always remember, and, you know, we'll see if I'm back next summer. If not, then, you know, I enjoyed it, but if I am, then let's get after it.
I mean, either way, we're going out with a bang at the NBC, and it's been a great season. That's been Sam Crown, the mic. Sam, thanks for coming up tonight. And
for sure.
It was a great season. That was a bad head and shake,
yeah,
but
we'll run it back there.
There we go, homie.
Thank you. All right, bro. I might send you another person. You know?
More prizes at the end of this.
I might send you another guy. I got you.
Don't forget, we're giving away the Larks autographed jersey by Larks Racing number 2 and Lance Berkman at the bottom of the 7th inning. We're giving away 2 $100 prizes. Once you go to Hayes Racing tonight, have your jersey. Jackson Blue back.
Top of the sixth here in Hayes. Hayes has scored 3 unanswered against the Gameday Saints. Jackson Blue back to the rubber. It's his third inning. His first pitch is a fastball low. 1 ball, no strikes here. To lead off guy, Tyler Dingus. Dingus. Dingus on the day, 1 for 2 with a double, a fielder's choice, but on that double, he cleared the bases and picked up 3 RBIs. Blue gets his timing way off on the swing, and we'll have a 1-1 counts. Movement up in the pen for Hayes, that is Trevor Munch, the southpaw from Lawrence, Kansas, getting ready. Blue will miss inside on the fastball here. 2 balls and a strike. Blue, the third pitcher of the game, the fourth pitcher of the game for Hayes. Fitzgibbons went 1 inning and they had some elbow tightness. And then we went to Trey Riggs, then Tyler Palmer. Now Blue, and Blue catches the outside corner. A phenomenal pitch. And I enjoy all these guys on the team. They're all great guys and my friends, but I don't know, something special about watching Blue. His stuff is nasty on the mound, and it just makes it fun to call him when he's on the mound, as his 2-2 will catch the zone, and he gets another strikeout here, and that is his 3rd in a row, and he gets Dingus looking 1 away. So top of the 6th, 1 away. Hayes up by 2. Gameday has scored 4 runs in the 2nd, 2 in the 4th, and then 1 in the 5th. And then Hayes has scored 8 runs in the past 2 innings. Blue, he's feeling it here in the 6th. Gets a first pitch strike here. It's been a long game, but that's what comes with 16 runs over the course of 5 innings. And it's been almost 2.5 hours into this one, and we're still not even 2/3 of the way through the innings. Blue delivers outside, 1 ball and 1 strike, 1 away, bases empty. One away, Blue, fastball. This is his best inning so far. It's the best he's looked today. And he's up to 60 pitches, but he's thrown his best stuff after it. 1-2, 1 away here to the top of the order, Caleb Albaugh. Blue outside, 2-2. Brady Evans with a nice block with nobody on. Blue, one of 5 UTA Mavericks on the 2021 roster. He's headed to Hutch, and there will only be 3 of those 5 returning to UTA, and Henry, Crowell, and Kavanaugh, as Divis is graduating, and Blue found himself a great opportunity at Hutch. He gets this one past Albaugh. 2 up, 2 down on strikes. Blue feeling himself on the rubber. 4 straight punch-outs for Blue, and that's what I like seeing. I like seeing the confidence out of him on the mound and not seeing a runner get on and it shake him a little bit. I like seeing this confidence. He's feeling it. I think he's looking his best right now on the season with that confidence. Strikeout number 21 not 21. Strikeout number 23 of the season, and Coons is going to have a chat with home plate umpire Hunter Fitzpatrick. And I'm not sure what we're discussing here. I don't know if they're trying to get Blue off his rhythm, or talking about the way Blue was looking at the guys. There's been taunts in between the 2 teams this season, but that really was nothing compared to what we saw yesterday after the win from the Saints. And I think they're going to get Blue with a warning. So we'll go to Drew Sackett. Sackett on the day, 0 for 3. He has the hat trick. We saw a platinum sombrero yesterday. One guy struck out 5 times. Sackett wants to make sure he doesn't go down with 4 strikeouts today. Blue has struck out his last 4. And do it for Larks in the bottom of this inning. Evans, Brown, and Dreiling. And Fitzpatrick continuing to take time. And hopefully this doesn't affect Blue as there's a big gap between these two batters. Chop. That's the third time I've said chop tonight. Fly ball over to the right side. 0-1 counts. 2 away. Sackett at the dish, looking for his first hit. He's the third baseman, sort of the number 3 jersey. He's from North Dakota State University, where he plays for the Bison, and takes this one over the outside corner. Blue, his location spot on in this AV. So the pause really not affecting him. 0-2 count, 2 away. Gets set on the mound. Takes a deep breath and will go from the stretch. Home. 0-2 outside. We get a third of a swing from Sackett, but it's not enough. Sackett this season, .310 batting average, getting aboard on nearly half of his plate appearances, and he has an OPS of 1.01. Henry shifts to the left field side, the 1-2 home above the letters. 2 balls, 2 strikes. I think this will probably be Blue's last inning on the mound. He's thrown 3. And we expect to see Munch out of the pen. And then I also believe we'll probably see Jose Velasquez come in for at least 1 inning. 2-2 home. It's in the zone. And Blue punches out the side here in the 6th. Sees 3. Gets 3. And Mike Kuntz complaining about Jackson Blue again. Blue has struck out 5 straight and has struck out 7 today for Jackson Blue. That is now 24 strikeouts for him. And while we're showing love to this pitcher, let's continue looking at the Larks' great season and look at our ERA leaders for the year. It's been a great year for the pitching staff, and Jose Velasquez has been terrific out of the pen. ERA under .5. He's leading the way with an ERA of .45 and has an opponent batting average under 100. Wyatt Davis, who gets it done on both sides, offense and defense, pitching, having the second best ERA of 1.30. And then Hunter Parker, after a game against the Gameday Saints when 11 runs scored with him on the mound, not all earned, has been terrific this month as a third best ERA with 2.67. And then Ter Beek, one of the most beloved guys in the city of Hayes, up in the leaderboards as well. ERA of 2.94 for Luke. And the Larks continue their great season. We'll continue to show love and recognition to the team tonight, but how about a round of applause for these 4 guys, Jose, Wyatt, Hunter, and Luke. Bottom of the sixth here for Hayes. Brady Evans will lead the charge for the Larks. Larks have scored 8 runs in their past 2 innings of work. New pitcher in the game, Brian Walters from Northeastern Junior College, throws a first pitch ball here to the catcher, Evans. Evans having a great season at the plate. Just continues performance after performance for the Larks defensively and offensively. Brady on base percentage above 500 this year, and has been aboard 2 times out of his 3 appearances today. Hit by pitch, a fielder's choice, and a lineout. This one will bounce off the plate. 2 balls and a strike here to the catcher. Pretty unique skill set as a catcher. Not only when you look at an MLB catcher, usually over 6 foot, big. And Brady Evans, fast. He's one of the shorter guys on the team, but he's got power, he's got muscle, and he gets it done for the team. 2-1 is off the plate here to Brady. He's a great guy to have in the clubhouse as well, and his teammates love him. And he's, again, every one of these guys on the team is going to be huge for the Larks heading into the NBC. And he will walk on 5 pitches and brings Cade Brown to the plate. Brown on the day, 2 for 3. He has 2 doubles and a flyout. Has Evans at first base for the Larks. Brian Walters on the mound this year for Gameday. 8 appearances now. All but 3 appearances in relief, 5 starts. He's 0-1 this season. His only loss coming against the Larks and that 18-16 win for Hayes. He threw 1 inning. It was still not a bad performance for him. I mean, he didn't allow a hit. He allowed 1 walk, struck out 2, but 2 runs scored on them. They went down as unearned, but that still counted for the loss for him. So he's thrown 8 pitches this inning. 7 pitches, 6 balls and 1 strike. It's the last night at Larks Park of the season, and Larks making sure it's going to be memorable. We got 2 more leaderboards to get to here in this game as we're making this last broadcast count. 2-0 outside in the chat between Rude and Walters. Doesn't change much. Rio home. Takes a look over his shoulder to Evans. And gets his first strike to Brown. 2-3-1 counts here to the 6 and 7 hitters in the Larks lineup. Brown getting a start at first baseman. He's a team player, gets it done on the mound, can hit. And he's been one of the best first basemen defensively in the league. And, I mean, I've been hyping the guys up all day, but I think this is a team that deserves a lot of recognition. But Walters catches the low outside corner, and Brown now has a full count. It'll be my last game of the season on the mic, so I want to make sure I give these guys credit where credit is deserved. On the payoff pitch, Brown sends it back, and he's working a long at bat here against Walters. Walters' ERA of 5.8 or 5.59 actually this season, and a WHIP of 1.50 flat. The last outing was against the Marshals, where he went 2 1/3 and had 5 earned runs. will throw a payoff pitch here from Walters to Brown. Brown swings at it, and Walters gets the upper hand against Cade and gets out number 1. So we'll go to Dylan Dreiling. Dreiling on the day, 2 for 3 with a single and a double. Forgot to mention this earlier. Jackson Blue, along with Wyatt Davis, each pitched in games 1 and 2 against the Game Day Saints in Colorado. Blue came in relief of Wyatt Davis in game 1 through 4. Terrific innings, only 1 run scored. He struck out 6 and allowed just 2 hits. And then in game 2, he came in relief of Hunter Parker through 1 2/3, allowed 1 hit, no runs, 1 strikeout. It was a great 2 outings over the course of 4 days for the righty from the Woodlands, Texas. A 1-0 count here with 1 away to Dreiling, the future Tennessee Volunteer. Pitch is home, and it's below the knees of Dreiling. 2 balls, no strikes here to the Larks left fielder tonight. Evans will get his lead at first base with Dreiling at the dish. Dylan, 3 straight balls here in this at-bat. Walter struggling with his location here in this outing. He's up 9-7. Now looking to keep the bats rolling. Walters has thrown 14 pitches and has only hit the zone on 36% of them. 3-1. He's faced 3 batters and had 3 3-1 counts. Kavanaugh on deck, taking some cuts with Henry in the hole for Hayes. Evans, not really a big lead at first base, but he can have wheels and is one of the fastest catchers in college ball. Dreiling continues to provide for the Larks offensively. 4 at-bats against Game Day this year. 5 at-bats, 4 hits, 2 runs scored, and 3 RBIs. That's 3 straight hits and 3 plate appearances for Dreiling. There is 2 on with just 1 out. That puts Evans at second and Dreiling at first base. Kavanaugh coming to the dish. He's 1 for 3 on the day with a single. He scored back in the 5th inning, was one of the 3 runs for the Larks. Larks silence in the 1st and 3rd, but got a run in the 2nd, 5 in the 4th, 3 in the 5th. He's patiently awaiting Walter's first delivery, brings his hands in and hits it slowly to the left field side, and we will not get a throw from out ball. I got to admire the effort of him to even get that one to keep it from going to the outfield, but wise move to not risk an error, throwing to third. Larks get their 16th hit of the ball game. Kavanaugh gets his 2nd, and we go back to the top of the order. Bases loaded. Evans at 3rd, Dreiling at 2nd, Kavanaugh at 1st for the Larks. Henry on the day, 3 for 4, 2 RBIs, a run scored, 2 singles and a double. Larks stuff in the stat sheet here today in Walters. Get some spit on his finger, step off the mound to get some better grip. There's a righty up on the pen for Game Day. He's still throwing. Walters will deliver home. First pitch to Henry above the letters. And we'll go 1-0. Zach Henry having a great season this year. We showed him earlier in the 500 on base percentage club. He didn't get there terribly long ago, but he's just been so dynamic in the past couple of weeks for the Larks. Fastball gets away from Rude. It rolls to the backstop. Evans will sprint home and score standing up. Larks get their 10th run of the game. They're up by 3 against the Gameday Saints, and Larks fans having fun here at the ballpark tonight. Evans scores his second of the day. 3 Larks with 2 runs scored, and one of those guys is 90 feet from scoring his 3rd run of the day. Henry has made a plate appearance in each of the last 4 innings now. Munch continues to warm up in the pen. Actually, I believe that's Velasquez now. Henry loses his bats for the 3rd time in the past week on swings, and he'll smile and get some flag from his teammates. And we'll get a new toss from the Gameday dugout, getting Henry his bat back. I don't know if it's the glove, I don't know if it's the pine tar, but I mean, when losing your bat is really the only flaw in your game, I mean, that's something you can deal with for Zach Henry. So he will go gloveless for this at bat now. 2-1 count here. 2 in scoring position. 1 away in the bottom of the 6th. 4 unanswered for Hayes. Larks have left a runner on in each inning today, but have scored 10 runs on 16 hits. Below the knees here of Henry. 3-1 hitters count for a guy whose bat has been on fire. Larks 4 walks, a hit by pitch, and 16 hits today. Just keep going through the order. This is the start of the 5th time through the order, and we're in the 6th inning with only 1 out. (3-1) delivery home. Henry sends it into the streets out of the ballpark. 3-2 count here under the lights in historic downtown Hayes, Kansas. At Larks Park, one of the oldest ballparks in the state. And it's a legendary one. Everybody who plays a summer here remembers it. It's a little bit intimidating walking into the ballpark right now. For the 75th anniversary season, we got some murals for some past Larks legends. You walk in the park, see a huge thing with Albert Pujols on it, talking about his day with the Larks, and you see Lance Berkman, Jim Lieritz, and other Larks legends. So that can, I don't know if that strikes an intimidation into an opponent when they walk into the ballpark, and that's the first thing they see is one of the greatest baseball players of all time. But, I mean, it's certainly really cool for the fans that got to see Albert Pujols play here over 2 decades ago. And it's cool that we get to honor him with the history, and you could never take that away from the Larks. That Albert Pujols spent a summer right here in Hayes, Kansas, and put on a show for the Hayes faithful. But either way, payoff pitch will miss low to Henry. Larks load the bases. And Keith Harper comes out of the dugout to have a chat with Frank Leo at third base. So those two guys chatting. They've been here forever. Nearly combined 60 years of coaching for the Larks. And I've been together coaching at Hayes High and for the Larks for years. And I know it would mean a lot for them for a deep run at the NBC tournament this year. I think those two guys, along with their families, have made a lot of sacrifices for this team and do so much work behind the scenes to make sure that this season happened, especially the 75th anniversary season. It was a special season with a lot of ceremony, and a lot of people put in a lot of work for it to go down. Lawson, hard cut on his first pitch here from Walters. Argus have put 3 straight aboard. Dowling at third. Kavanaugh at second. Henry at first. Bases loaded. 0-1 counts. Oh, 1 to Lawson. Missing low again is Walters. He's throwing strikes on under 50% of his pitches today. That one, I'm on the majority. He's only recorded 1 out this inning. That run that scored went down unearned. 1-1 home. Bases jacked. 1 away for Cortland. who is one of the most dangerous players in the Rocky Mountain Baseball League. He is 2 for 2 in his last 2 plate appearances after starting out 0 for 2. He has a couple of singles, 2 runs scored, and 2 RBIs over the 4th and 5th inning. Two-one, Lawson rips it to left field. It's going to drop in fair territory. Drowling's going to score. Kavanaugh's going to score. Henry's going to try from first to third, and it's going to be a 3 RBI double for Cortland Lawson. He's fired up, and the team is fired up. Larks have scored 12 in the past 3 innings on just 7 outs, and they're still only 1 away as Lawson brings home RBIs 3, 4, and 5 on the day. As we go to Wyatt Divis, and we'll get a pitching change, or at least a mound visit here from Mike Coons of the Game Day Saints. And we are feeling it here at the ballpark. Henry scores his second. Drowling scores his third. Kavanaugh scores his second. Cortland Lawson came into this game with 17 RBIs. He now has 22. And we'll be back after the break. We see our second 3-run double of the day. The other one came from Game Day earlier, but this one keeping the Larks' momentum going. We'll be back here for the continuation of the 6th. Lawson currently standing at second base, with Divis coming to the plate. Larks have scored 4 in this inning. They put 4 straight aboard, and 5 of their 6 batters so far. Evans has scored in this inning. Drowling, Kavanaugh, and Henry have also scored as well. And Lawson just picked up his 3rd, 4th, and 5th RBIs of the day. New pitcher of the game is Gunnar Fagan out of Upper Iowa University. He's a junior righty and has a 1-0 outside. 2 balls and no strikes here to Wyatt Divis, the DH and Larks legend. Vaca continuing to add on to his historic season. He's been aboard 3 times today, 2 singles and a walk. He's also scored 1 run today. Checks his swing here, and we'll go 2-1 is what the scoreboard reads. Larks continuing to pile on runs. Scored 5 in the fourth, 3 in the fifth, now 4 here in the sixth, and there's still only 1 out. They have just gotten to the bullpen here in this inning. And especially late in the game, they've gotten a lot of runs off of Gameday late in the game. Over the past 4 games against them, Davis has a 3-1 count. Davis is swinging at his hitter's count delivered. He fouls it back into the glove of Root. Larks 7 unanswered runs. They're down 6-1 heading into the bottom of the fourth, and now scoreboard favoring the Birds. Get a payoff pitch coming here to Davis. Lawson dangles his arm at second, moves, and gets a good jump heading to third. Davis walks, and Rue doesn't even bother trying to go to throw out Lawson. Bases have runners on the corners. Lawrence that puts 5 straight aboard as we will go to Grant Schmidt. Schmidt, the 8th hitter of the inning here in the bottom of the 6th. One away, swing and a miss. There's a foul tip from Schmidt. Schmidt has been aboard in each of his last 3 at-bats. And he is now one of 4 Larks to make 4 plate appearances over the past 4 innings. We just continue to go through the lineup. This is the Larks' 5th time through the order. Ground ball to the third base side. It's fair, and Sackett can't get a glove on it, or he does, but it rolls past him. It's a tough play on a well-hit ball. It's the Larks' 18th hit of the game, and Schmidt picks up his first RBI of the day on the double. Davis goes to third. Lawson scores his 3rd run of the game, and Lawson has accounted for 8 runs today. 3 scored himself and 5 runs driven in. It's been a great day for the Tennessee Volunteer. As Davis and Schmidt both in scoring position, Larks now have doubled the runs of the Gameday Saints and show no signs of stopping, and you almost wonder if a run rule could happen. So I'll take us to Camp Harrison. He is now the lone guy without an RBI or a run scored. First pitch inside to Cam, 1-0. Fagan on the mound this year. I'll get you his numbers in a second after this pitch to Pearson. The righty can't go from the windup since he has no chance of a runner stealing on him. And he misses outside. He sports a number 10 jersey for the Gameday Saints. Played in 3 games at the plate, hitting-wise, and is making his 13th appearance on the rubber this season. He pitched against the Larks in both games in Colorado. On the 11th, he threw 1 inning, allowed 1 hit, and struck out 2. And then on the 14th, the Monday game, he threw a 1/3 of an inning, 3 earned runs, 2 hits, a walk, and then he was pulled from the game. His current season ERA at 4.80 and has a whip of 1.13. So in 15 innings and has a 3-0 count here to Cam Pearson, the 9th hitter of the inning, and he will get this one for a called strike. 3-1. Doesn't want to load the bases, but don't want to give Cam something good to hit. Pearson does take a hard cut right there, and he misses it. 3-2. On deck is Evans. Larks looking to bat around for the 2nd time in the past 3 innings. Fagan from the windup, off speed, and fools Pearson enough for a strikeout. And that's outs number 2 of the 6th inning. Larks have now batted around. Brady Evans led off his 2nd time today and will be the 10th hitter of the inning for the 2nd time today. What a Brady Evans. Again, he has been aboard 3 times today. 2 away, 2 in scoring position for Brady. Inside pitch catches the plate, 0-1. Two away, 2 in scoring position. Fagan from the windup. Fastball gets rolled to Dingus. He scoops it, and we'll get it to first in time for out number 3. Larks score 5 in the 6th, bring 10 hitters to the plate, batting around, and they will take a 7-run lead to the 7th here. And while we got a chance, let's check out some more Larks on the leaderboard. So stolen bases is a thing that the Larks have been stealing. They've been stealing a lot of bases, to put it simply. They have double the stolen bases that they had last year. They've stolen 61 more bases than last year, and Zach Henry is leading the charge for the Larks. He's stolen 27. That is the 7th most in a single season in a Larks uniform. And then Jeminian stole 15 last year, ups his total by 1 for the Larks this year. That is, he led it last year, now is in second this year. Tyler Palmer and Cam Harrison each with 15 for the Larks. And this is a team that continues its dominance on the base paths. And we will go to the 7th inning. Hayes up 14-7 here in Hayes. Top of the 7th, Jose Velasquez, who has been dominant on the mound this year, will take over on the rubber. Leading it off here will be Luke Bailey after a 1-2-3-6 when the Blues struck out the side. He gives the ball to Jose Velasquez out at Cochise College. Jose this year has the best ERA on the squad. It is under 1. That's the second straight year we've seen an ERA under 1. Last year was Wyatt Divis with a .64 ERA, and this year it is Mr. Velasquez for the Larks. Jose fires this one in below the knees. 1 ball and a strike. Velasquez comes in this game ERA of .452, unbelievable numbers for him, and a whip of .61. This is his 14th game played. He's pitched 40 innings, 2 starts. His latest outing was a start, and his first outing of the season was a start. He is 5-0 this year, 3 saves and just as many opportunities. He's given up only 6 hits this year. I mean, there's not enough words to describe how dominant he's been this season. It's been a guy you can put on the mound in any situation and trust. He's come up clutch in games when we've come from behind and kept the other team off the score and kept momentum in our favor, throwing as many as 6 innings in relief. And he's just been dominant, and he will field this one easily. Run to first and toss it underhand to Cade Brown in time. Bailey now 1 for 4 with a home run, and the Larks have retired 5 straight. So 1 away here in the 7th inning. Jose has an opponent batting average of .065. And in league games, it's at .036. That's just ridiculous. And even when balls are put in play, his opponent batting average is .094. This is a guy who just goes out there and gets outs. Delivers home here and 1-0. And I think he had a great year at Cochise. But I think he's going to have an even bigger one coming up in 2022. And then wherever he goes next, he's going to be huge. The 6'3 freshman led Cochise with 26 appearances, winning 7 games. Had the least earned runs on the team among pitchers with an ERA, or excuse me, let me restart that. Had the least earned runs on the team among pitchers with an average of 1 inning pitched per game, 22 earned runs to be exact. All of his appearances were in relief. He gets another ground ball to him. It's off his glove, and he does a smart thing and just leaves it on the ground. Goldie reaches, and we'll see if they get that an E1 or a hit. Scoreboard flashes E1, but puts Goldie at first. 1-0 count here to Jack Rude. Anyway, back to Jose's numbers at Cochise. He threw 58 2/3 innings, striking out 57 guys, walking 23 less. Picked up 3 saves. The Phoenix native, very bright future on the rubber. He has a 2-0 count here against the 5-hole catcher. Runner at first. It's the first base runner since the 5th inning. Velasquez sets up and will go from the stretch. Livery home inside, 3-0. Jose is going to be huge for the NBC. Doesn't matter who you bring up, a great team, a bad team, or whatever. He's going to get them to go back to the dugout with an out. And we're going to see some great competition in the NBC, and Jose is going to be a key factor for the team. Throws a strike here to Rude. His first strike of the AB will go 3-1 counts here to the catcher from Swan University of the South. Check over at first. We're not in time. We'll stay 3-1. Velasquez is one of 3 Arizona natives on the Larks roster this year, along with Grant Long and Cam Pearson. Pearson, his teammate from Cochise, head to Fort Hays. It was just one of 2 guys from Cochise. And one of 3 guys that goes to school in Arizona, him, Pearson, and then Beek. We'll get a new ball for Velasquez and go 3-2 in the counts, 1 away. Runner at first here in the top of the 7th. Hayes was down 6-1 heading into the bottom of the 4th inning, and then scored 13 over the course of 3 innings and have doubled the amount of runs of the Saints. And the way the bat's been rolling, you can't roll out a run rule here in the bottom half of the inning. Velasquez just misses outside and walks Rude. That's 2 straight aboard against him on an error and a walk. 1 away, 2 on in the top of the 7th inning. Courtesy runner at first base for the catcher is Jacob Weaver. Look at Noah Vogel. Vogel on the day 0 for 2 with a walk, an error, and a walk. And a ground out, 2 runs scored on the day. Those were in the 2nd and 4th innings. Flies this one to center field. Henry, who was playing into the left field side, goes back and continues to go to the left field side. And tagging up here is Goldie. Throw chops off of Kavanaugh. He will hustle in and make sure that Rude stays at third base. Goldie goes up to the 3rd, and there's runners on the corners with 2 outs here at Larks Park.
The designated hitter, number 8, Nick Crandall.
So Vogel now will be 0 for 3 on the day, and that could very well be his last at bats. So I'm not sure what the deal is with Munch, but he's done warming up. He was warming up before Jose was, and then they took him out. I think we might see Munch for like the 9th, but as originally order was going to be Fitz, and then Riggs, and then Munch, and then Velasquez. And then after some tightness, we threw Riggs a couple innings early, and then threw Palmer for 1 1/3. 1 2/3 actually, and then Blue for 3 great innings, and now we're to Velasquez. Jose, as I mentioned, one of 3 guys from Arizona on the roster. We got a few clusters of home states. We got 4 guys from Kansas, 4 from Texas, 3 from Arizona and Nebraska, and we got 2 guys from California on the roster. College states-wise, Arizona's sitting at 3. Got 6 guys from Texas, 5 UTA Mavericks, and then 1 Clarendon Bulldog. 5 from Kansas. We got KCK, Fort Hays, Butler, and Dodge City. And then Jose is one of 9 guys that spent this past spring playing JUCO ball out of the 24 players to start the roster. We had 11 D1 starting, 3 D2, 9 JUCO, and 1 NAIA. And certain guys finding new homes. Pearson coming to Fort Hays. Looks here, Beek was looking for a new home. Leo Geminian coming out of Clarendon, committed to Eastern Tennessee State University during the course of the season. I mean, we've got guys continuing to find homes, and I know those teams are very excited to have them. We have a 2-2 count here at Hays, Kansas, with 2 away and 2 on. Nick Crandall at the plate. He is 1 for 2 with a double, a strikeout, and a walk. Velasquez thought he had a strikeout, and Hunter Fitzpatrick behind the plate says otherwise. We'll go 3-2. I think the entire infield and Jose thought we had the strikeout. Jose this year striking out 30 guys through his first 31 innings. Payoff pitch on its way. It misses outside, and tossing his bat and heading to first is Crandall. Second walk of the inning for Jose Velasquez. It loads the bases. Jose had only walked 13 guys prior to this appearance. Bases loaded for Braden Luft. Left 2 for 3 in the day. Talked about Jose coming in big time in relief. Notable performances against the Sox. It was a game that he saw 3 innings out in a Munch, I believe. And then Jose came in through the last 6 and kept the Sox off the scoreboard in a revenge game after the Larks lost game 1. 6 great innings, hitless. And he struck out 6 in the process, only walking 1. His first 3 outings, he went 11 innings with no hits and only allowed 1 hit through his first 17 innings in his first 7 outings. It was a great start for the season, and he hasn't slowed down. And then had another big game in relief against the Boulder Collegians. It was a game that the Larks really wanted to win in Boulder after all that went down. He came in for 4 innings and kept them off the board. And we'll get a roller to Pearson. He throws to first base in time, and that was a great play from Pearson to save the Larks here with the bases loaded. And we get 3 left on board in the 7th, and we'll go to the 7th inning stretch. But let's finish up talking about Jose and his performance against the Collegians. And when game, he went 4 innings, no earned runs, 2 strikeouts, and 2 walks. And his season ERA was perfect at the start of July. 0 earned runs from the Larks' first game on the 4th of June, and then he didn't have an earned run until the 7th of July. It was a great start for the season for Jose, and he's been dynamic since. And we'll go to the 7th inning stretch here in Hays. Hays up by 7. Cade Brown will lead things off for the Larks here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. The first pitch will hit him, and he will throw his bat to the dugout and take first base. I think that caught off his elbow guard. Something popped off of his uniform and fell to the ground. And that will be another hit by pitch. The Larks have been the beneficiary of those today, and Brown aboard yet again today, the third time he's aboard. So we're to Dylan Dreiling in his last 3 at-bats, 3 for 3 with 2 singles and a double. He scored 3 times over the past 3 innings and drove in a run in the process as well. Hunter Beindorf on the mound out of Tufts University in Massachusetts. And it throws a wild pitch. It gets away, and Brown goes up 90 feet. Seen a lot of wild pitches and pass balls today, and the Larks keep benefiting from them. And they are up by 7 here in the 7th. No signs of stopping here. Beindorf, pitcher number 7 of the day for the Game Day Saints. Only one pitcher has thrown more than 2/3 of an inning for them. Both teams in the last game of the regular season using all the arms that they can. This delivery to Dreiling will miss abundant letters. We'll go 2-0 with the counts. Brown standing at second base. Game-ending run on the on-deck circle. Dreiling hits one hard to first base. It bounces, and Goldie has a nice read. Tags the bag himself, but Brown moves up to third in the process. Dylan now 3 for 5 with 3 runs and an RBI. And that's his last at-bat of the regular season. It's been a great one with him in the left-hander's batter's box. It'll take us to Matt Cav. Cav on the day 2 for 4 with 2 singles in his last 2 at-bats. Scored in the 5th and the 6th, and is looking for more here with Brown at third base. Delivery to him off the plate, 1-0. Kavanaugh's 3rd year with the Larks. One of a handful of guys that came back from last year's squad. Kavanaugh in his first year with the Larks was a first-team All-League KCLB selectee and was a Defensive Player of the Year in the league, while batting .333 at the plates and had 23 RBIs. He had the least strikeouts on the team among players with over 100 at-bats. He had 43 total bases, and his on-base percentage was at .390. He has a 2-0 count here against Beindorf. Brings his hands in and cranks one well out of play, but it was crushed. He was looking for another homer. Homerless this season, and is looking for his first. All but 2 Larks this season have hit a long ball, and this is a team that's, and these are 2 guys that have hit them in the past, Palmer Hutchison and Matt Kavanaugh. Hutchison actually took one deep over 400 feet at Game Day's ballpark last year. It was one he crushed and put the Larks up on the scoreboard in. 3-1 hitters count for number 3, Matt Cav. Delivery home, he takes to right field. Bailey moves back, he's at the warning track. He dives, and he doesn't get to it. It drops on the warning track, rolls to the wall. We're going to bring Matt Kavanaugh from second to third. Cade Brown scores, and Kavanaugh in his last regular season game with the Larks brings home an RBI triple, his 3rd straight hit, and Brown scores his 2nd run of the day. Kavanaugh picks up his first RBI. We're up by 8. The Larks now against the Game Day Saints have scored 49 runs over the course of 4 games. Matt Cav, that's his 2nd triple of the season. And we'll head and stay at third with Zach Henry coming to the plate. Henry, 5 plate appearances today, 4 times aboard, a double, a couple of singles and a walk. He scored 2 times and driven in 2. Henry has made a plate appearance and now first in the innings 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Every inning but the second, he has been aboard. In the second, he was the next guy up. He was on the on-deck circle when the inning ended. Ball bounces off of Rude. Kavanaugh stays at third. 1-0 counts with 1 away here in its bottom of the 7th. Counts above the letters. 2 balls and no strikes here to Zach Henry. Above the letters. 3-0. Henry at the plate. I know I talked about it earlier, but especially want to thank everybody that's been a part of this season watching, but special shout outs to Jolynn, Jen running the Larks next, Gary, Corey, and Logan, Daryl running the grills, Ken and Jolene doing a lot in the press box, Ken being the PA announcer yet again, and then the families of Keith Harper and Frank Leo as Zach Henry picks up his 4th hit of the game and brings home his 3rd RBI. Kavanaugh scores his 3rd run in the past 3 innings. Hayes up by 9, and the game winning run is at first base. And Zach Henry with Cortland Lawson coming to the plate. Larks have run ruled 8 teams this season. How fitting would it be in the last game to run rule another one? Henry takes off, stolen base number 28 this season. That is now 6th all time. And he's still got time with the NBC to pick up some more. I don't know if we count those, but I mean, he has been stealing bases like nobody else. 1-0 count here to Cortland Lawson, almost, and it does catch his jersey sleeve, and he will take the hit by pitch, the second hit batter for Beindorf on the rubber. So 2 on, 1 out for Wyatt Davis, a single would end the game. How fitting would it be if Wyatt Davis walked us off here? Last regular season game for Wyatt Davis. His 4th year with the Larks, in the last game at Larks Park. He was honored before the Larks' last game for his 4th for the team. Beindorf throws one that misses low. 1-0. Larks 5 runs in the 4th, 3 in the 5th, 5 in the 6th, now 2 in the 7th, and there's only 1 out. We have 20 hits now, and that's got to be a season high or close to a season high. To the season high. 1-0 outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Nobody up in the pen for game day. They're going to ride Beindorf as long as they can on the mound. Although we're just now back up with the stream, Grant Schmidt almost ended the season with a walk-off grand slam. It'll hit off the wall. It's Grant's second home run second walk-off hit of the season, and he ends it here 17-7 as the Larks run rule the Game Day Saints, their 9th run rule of the season, and Grant Schmidt picks up his 2nd RBI of the day, and Henry scores his 3rd run. So that'll end the regular season. Larks win this one 17-7 and win their 29th game of the year. we still got one more thing to talk about, and it's the OPS this year. And let's check out the OPS standings. We got 7 different guys in the OPS leaderboard with over 1. That's elite numbers. Divis, Palmer, Lawson, Evans, Schmidt, Crowell, and Pearson. It's been a historic season for your Hayes Larks, and the bats have been dynamite, and that shows it tonight. Larks put up 17 runs on 21 hits in this game, and that's through 7 innings, 6 1/3 technically, and they will win this season series against the Gameday Saints. And they are Rocky Mountain Baseball League champions. And this last game on the mic for me in 2021. Thank you for tuning in tonight, and for all season. We got a bright future coming into the NBC. Larks in this game score 17 runs. We get 5 RBIs from Lawson, 3 from Henry. We get 3 runs each from Lawson, Dreiling, and Kavanaugh in this game. And winning pitcher tonight, Trey Riggs. No, excuse me. It's Jackson Blue tonight, winning another game on his season. Larks now 29-6 for the last regular season game of the 2021 campaign, their 75th anniversary season. But this has been Carson Ackerman on the call. Thank you for staying with us all season long, and especially for tuning in tonight as we honor what a great season it's been for the Hayes Larks. But again, thank you. This has been Carson Ackerman signing off. We'll roll the team picks one more time and sign off here in Hayes.